Intercontinental Combat. This pro competition is in full swing, where the best still get to remain the best. The way that Pro Comp has gone so far, it has actually been a rather mixed bag of results. There's definitely been some surprise players, I think. And again, it kind of stems from being able to see them grow throughout the course of a year. I think one of them definitely is Val, a real Sindel master, the specialist.
Another Russian player is currently rocking. He's playing out of his mind. He's improving a lot.
Like, everything he's doing is so difficult to get a turn back guaranteed, and another hit misses the end, but who cares? Look at the life difference. Ow!
Swazi, he's been in the grand finals twice already. He's really strong, really impressive to see how good he's gotten really fast.
He's a player from New Zealand. He's a young kid, but he's also super good. I mean, I played him like maybe 6 months ago, and I feel like we were equal, but since then he's just really leveled up.
8 seconds on the clock. Swazi's in huge trouble. I don't think he's gonna get it at this point. Swazi just backdashes, and why not? The Hail Mary fatal blow doesn't matter.
Being a little bit of a biased UK fan is Raichu TQ, formerly known as Josh TQ, going away from being exclusively an Aron Black player. He has got into this realm of playing, Scarlet, Sindel.
My brother's just amazing at the game. It's something that you can only dream of, in terms of competing. Like my brother alongside me winning tournaments first and second.
Now in MK11, we really discovered a new talent, players like Wasim, him and Faisal Combat.
The community has always been so insanely community tournament and exhibition focused.
It's just taught them how to, deal with competitive environments. With EU, there's a lot of names that you've never seen before, and they just bang 3-0, upset, you're out of the tournament.
This region, there are a lot of amazing players that put up a very good competition to top level players.
Sometimes we do team battles between our region and other regions. We really win every time. If I take all these players and take them with me to offline tournaments, I'm sure they will all do well.
We've been locked down in OC for a bit, so we're only playing OC players.
I feel like it's a strong region, but it's just way smaller.
They've always put their passion into the game. The scene's putting in the work and they're catching up.
Here we are, they opened the customs.
The level of play that we're seeing in the game right now with customs has really evolved pretty quickly as well.
I think every character has benefited from being able to kind of take whatever move they want.
Because the variation system meant that characters had weaknesses.
Use a couple of key abilities together, really improve them.
It's a good time to try new characters, to try new variations.
And I think customs just makes it so that characters don't have weaknesses.
Tournaments are the best place to be in the world, as far as I'm concerned. But we can't right now.
We still don't give up. We practice online.
It's been a really good experience just, having fun playing online with the stream as well.
You've been able to compete every single week, and we've been able to watch so many players grow and thrive under those conditions.
My dad was actually the one that got me into the competitive scene. He said that this is only the beginning of your journey.
Yeah, here we are. We're growing together and trying to do our best.
It's been a really positive thing for me, and has really given me something to look forward to and work for.
Fingers crossed that I can give you guys a lot more hype and content and, be the people's champ for a little bit longer.
Let's keep killing it. Eventually offline's going to come back, so you guys know I'm going to be mopping you all offline.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second half of Intercontinental Combat for EU East. I'm Darth Arma, joined by Ketchup. Ketchup, that was an incredible insight on, exactly what players to be looking for and what it means to, have an opportunity like this for all these different regions around the world. I was really impressed, man. You did a great job. Let me just tell you, you killed it.
Look, I kind of think I've had a bit of an unfair advantage on a lot of other people because, you know, we've been able to see the grind and the growth of loads of different players through PS4 tournaments as a whole. You know, it's an appropriate time to always bring up and talk about PS4 tournaments because we've had Open Series. Now we have Pro Competition. It's all a program that allows players from, you know, CIS or EU that might not be able to travel too much that can now compete online. They can actually start to show everyone what they're made of. I think this started, I'm really glad we got an interview with him because he has quite the rich history within his own family in fighting games, and MK11 being his big competitive debut, I think, is, you know, if I think of a player that has used PS4 tournaments as an opportunity to grow, Desarted's the number one, and shock horror, he's doing really well, and he's even in this bracket today, so.
Yeah, and if you guys do want to get a part of the action, make sure you guys go to that website, compete.playstation.com. Here's a little breakdown of what's going on today, what we're going to have the pleasure of commentating. This is EU East Week 5. The top 8 is as follows. A lot of familiar faces and, you know, a little bit of new faces, either, you know, first or second time around into the top 8. Really excited, though, to see, you know, Greece out here in full force, you know, and the winner side, loser side, doesn't matter. Making it to the top 8 means you're going to be getting those points. Getting enough points is going to qualify you for the finale, where there's going to be a big, big prize pool on the line. So this is all about testing the waters. It's all about qualifying. And then it comes down to that one tournament to decide the whole season, decide, you know, how much money you're actually going to be taking home. So we have a lot of talented players here, some streamers, some just regular competitive players. And like I said before, some newer faces and familiar faces. Everyone's here. Everyone's here in the top 8. A lot of representation here in EU East, and there's going to be a lot more later after this one when we switch over to EU West. So a lot of MK in the next several hours for you guys. So if you guys are looking for the best competition, look no further, man. It's right here. It's coming up, and I can't wait, man. I know we have a lot of exciting matches here at top 8. What are you looking forward to mostly? I mean, I know you this is your, you know, this is your realm. Like, you know, all these players in and out.
I do, you know, not to sound arrogant, obviously, but it's we've had the opportunity. Mustard and myself have been watching a lot of these players in Open Series for going on 9-10 months at this point, and even then, there are some players that we've seen only recently in Mortal Kombat 11 that we've known a long time before. You know, K-Top and H-Top being those key examples that are both in this top 8 winners side. It's two storylines for me. It is the continued growth of the CIS community, and also it is the growth of the Greek scene and the 3 best players in Greece constantly now starting to turn up in these top 8s. Having Nivek, K-Top, and H-Dope in the same bracket, this is not the first time that's happened recently, and it is, for me, just a real demonstration of just how talented the best of Greece can be, and always have been. You know, those seeds go way back into Mortal Kombat 9 with, you know, Metsus, Hidan, Nicolas, and more, obviously. And now the new generation. But there's one player that was always there, Nivek. Now this matchup, Magic T versus K-Top. Magic T, last time we saw him in Pro Competition, played a variation which was launch and soul forfeit. And he's still rocking it. I think he calls this like 3rd round KO or something. Basically, we're in the final round, I'm popping it, you're gonna die. But K-Top, master of rushdown, so he has an advantage here.
Yeah, because the soul forfeit, you're going to have to give up a bar for the remainder of the game. And so that's something that, you know, you don't want to come off of too early. That's something you want to hold on to for the combo ability. Speaking of combo ability, he does have the launcher there, so he's going to have access to a lot of damage from all these different straight hits. But you know what? Jackie is just one dash punch, one super jump away from applying this pressure. As you can see right now, Magic T on complete defense, leaving himself susceptible to a back throw here. Jackie super plus, and Magic T read it like a book there. Unfortunately, didn't read that breakaway and is taking a lot of damage because of that.
Yeah, pushed a little bit too hard right there. Got the flawless block, good read on, you know, the plus frames being enforced and stuff. But as we go into the rest of this round, you know, it's K-Top. You look at the dash punch and you think it's like high risk, low reward, but it's less about the damage. Oh, and it's more about the knockdown. Now, I tell you why he did that charge. It's because he wanted K-Top to duck the projectile that normally comes next. Plus frames, down 1. That was not a part of the plan. Getting hit by the down 1 was not part of the plan. My man tried to enforce plus frames, throw out a down 1. He thought K-Top was going to respect, and he fatal blow. Clearly, that's not what happened.
like the use of grease kick here. Amplify grease kick for some, more combo potential, different routes. It really opens up, which path you can take. 2 damage right now. K-Top looking incredible here. Plus frames, but this time, because he was afraid of the flawless block, goes for the forward throw. This is all about, the mind games. What is my opponent thinking? What did I do last time? What did he do last time? What's going to work this time around? K-Top just 1 step ahead, but hold on a second. Magic D, anti-air down 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
he tried to go for the classic Darth Armor. We see players, they empty jump into the corner to do an empty jump forward throw, but K-Top was ready.
Yep. Yeah, he was. He kind of, it's I don't want to say it's a common strategy, but it's definitely like, it's a strategy where you're utilizing, your resources. And, Spawn is very unique in the sense that he has a really damaging forward throw as long as he is in the corner. So that's why he kind of, you don't usually see that in high-level gameplay where someone will willingly go into the corner because, when you're up against the wall, up against the ropes, you're going to have a little bit more limited mobility. You don't want to be there. But because Spawn has that crushing blow, that's something that they dive into. So I definitely see K-Top all over this matchup. I'm pretty sure very familiar with Magic T. Magic T is a very prominent streamer, streams almost every day, every time I'm seeing it. But so, it could be something like that. It could be, you're able to see this different strategies and what could potentially happen.
I think we're looking at this variation that Magic T clearly likes to take. That is the issue, one projectile right as a leap comes forward, it can be all over because now the rushdown begins, the meaty plus frames. One thing K-Top has become phenomenally good at is just recognizing what to do after a dash punch knockdown. I kind of got interrupted by the flawless block last game, but what I was saying is that you'd think the dash punch is high risk, low reward. It's less about the damage it does, and it's the fact that it's got a lot more knockdown frames than you might think, and that is honestly an ask and you shall receive moment because K-Top uses the dash punch knockdown and then enforces either a leap mid-screen, in the corner it'll be a short hop blast, like many layers, folks. And that's one of the things that makes Jackie one of the best characters, if not the best in the game. And I definitely think Cetron and Jackie are kind of seen to be an undisputed top 2 right now for a lot of people.
I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that statement. Jackie, however, continuing to apply this pressure here. Starting out this round with a 40% combo, but hold on a second. Magic D does force the breakaway to come out. So if he gets one more opening, one more juggle, he's going to be able to do some damage. Let's see if he taps into that very specific variation move. But hold on a second. Maybe he's holding it for round number 3. Tries to go for a forward throw. Jackie just playing a little bit more defensively here. K-Top throwing down that goop because, he just wanted the damage over time. Really couldn't get around the wall. The obstacles here that Jackie or K-Top were throwing down, and it's very, very tough when you have that limited amount of remaining HP, remaining life, because although the goop doesn't do anything physically to you, it just kind of slowly ticks away your life bar as long as you're on top of it. And when someone's that low on health and they're on top of the damage over time element, they're going to be playing a little bit more panicky. They're going to be like more willing to jump, more willing to not block, more willing to not just sit there, because if you just sit there, you're going to die.
It's especially difficult for Spawn too, because one of his biggest weaknesses is that he is extremely whiff punishable because there's a lot of recovery on his attacks. And whilst that's not normally an issue, Jackie getting that one good leap right as you've whiffed something means that if you don't want to whiff against Jackie, it's kind of like don't press buttons, but you got to press buttons to actually fight back and put yourself in the match. And when the goop's on the floor, you do anything on block and you step in it, Spawn is recovering for 1,000,000 years, and it's like he's standing in the damage on the floor. It's like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to try and get out of here. But nope, I'm dead.
Yep.
Didn't have the health to deal with it.
Exactly here.
Uh-oh,
Right
this
out
has
the
just
gate.
been an absolute demolition so far, Darth Armor. K-Top is just, opening up Magic T. The thing is, he's opening up Magic T without using a single grab. And that's one thing K-Top opts not to do a lot of the time, is he doesn't actually like grabbing you too much. He will if you've just blocked for days, but he's just happy to build the meter, do the chip damage. He's only really hit Magic T twice, and look at his life, or lack of in this case. Now he grabs.
No pain, no gain.
A lot of damage, and again, you kind of have that little, that that thing in your mind. You're just that idea that, okay, they're going to be holding on the block. They're going to be, really susceptible to this throw because they're just so you know, overwhelmed by this offense. And K-Top just really good at knowing when Magic T's gonna be so willing to just keep blocking here. Goes for the launcher, it does break away out of here. So Magic T again gets that opening that he's looking for. Is going to be a lot of damage in his favor. Could be the round, could be the momentum shift that he's looking for. Gets another forward throw here. I guess K-Top was trying to tech for throw mix, anticipating him to throw him out of the corner. Love the conversion here, thanks to that corner, able to just kind of stay right in front of Jackie when she gets launched up. And Magic deciding or opting to back off, but this is very dangerous because she does have Fatal Blow. One successful hit will be, you know, a significant amount of damage, but Magic does find the stray hit there with the regular stand 3. The chains coming out to assist Spawn, able to, you know, extend a hitbox without extending his hurt box. Very, very powerful tool.
Oh, and now we've activated Soul Forfeit. And we're going to start doing damage. Now, there's so many hits at the end of that combo, it doesn't really matter. Goes for the grab! That would have been another full combo, because he hasn't used the forward throw yet. But now, K-Top, he is going to be swinging hard. But wait, he's launched. He has no KBs for that one. He's already spent them, but the damage. Oh, no. Oh, no! He gets hit. Fatal Blow's ready. One single confirm now. Plus frames, this is scary. Flawless block, so good to shut down some of the chip damage. Oh no, punish! But it doesn't matter. Man, I'm never going to get tired of seeing Soul Forfeit. And actually, to be fair, I'm going to quickly put a situation forward here, Darth Armor. You would probably not be particularly used to fighting Soul Forfeit Spawn, right? Because it's not a common variation that people take. The thing is, K-Top's brother, H-Dope, plays this very variation as well. It's one of his characters, and they've actually played in tournament in that matchup. I think it was Fujin versus Spawn. So K-Top's familiar with what to do when Soul Forfeit comes out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you know what's, you know, accessible. I love the use of, you know, down 2 crushing blow. Normally is reserved for like a specific scenario where you're, you know, ducking under throws or you know, challenging some highs, but the fact that you can use it with Soul Forfeit to just kind of tack it on the end of a normal combo string or a normal, you know, juggle ender, you know, and then juggle again from there. I mean, it's the possibilities are endless. How many different ways you can punish somebody, and then not only on top of that, as soon as you're doing your super long extended combo, if you didn't use that forward throw crushing blow, it's ready to go, and that's what you saw Magic T going for there at the end. But K-Top was one step ahead there, ducking right under.
Already looking to enforce, but these ranged buttons, you've always got to be so careful against Jackie. K-Top. Oh, hang on a minute. We have no... Well, actually, saving the bar is probably more likely there, so he keeps it unbreakable. Uh-oh. Right. All it takes is one grab, and the thing I'm nervous about, Armor, is that he has struggled against this Jackie offense all series long, tries to challenge, and this time eats it. Plus frames for breakfast, and now the grabs are coming in. We're hitting the next layer.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in. You got no bar to break away, so you know you're so desperate not to get hit. Okay, comes off the breakaway, but unfortunately got fully punished because of that, because he tried to put Jackie into a restand before she was actually able to break away. You know, it makes it a little tough there. Some people, you know, that little... Some people aren't as good at breaking away as early as possible, and in that scenario, Magic T was looking to, you know, snatch her out of there before, you know, and restand her so she wouldn't have access to it. But K-Top was just so on point with the breakaway input, the breakaway timing, that, you know, Magic T was still recovering. Magic T still got punished there.
And now Meaty plus frames once more. You break away and it's still going to be something you have to deal with. Now there's that throw tech. The reverse throw though, and K-Top going for so many more of them. Now we're in this final game and you're starting to worry. Chip damage for days. Lovely anti-air interrupt. There's that fatal phantasm restand. Oh, my man getting caught. What's it going to be now? 33%. And the back one. I liked that because K-Top, he does actually have a tendency to hold just neutral duck at the end of a round, thinking you're going for like a round-ending grab or something. Now Magic T gets the interruption again, and he's going to be good with it. Yo, let's see Magic T He was getting opened up easy in those first 2 games, but now there's a bit more discipline there, Armor. Oh, God, the nose.
Oh. And that's what you were talking about before, the long recovery of all his normals. Even though that normal's really, really good, if it whiffs, Spawn cannot block for quite some time, and Jackie is able to kind of, get in there before he was able to block, able to punish, and get some good damage thanks to that crushing
Here we
blow.
go.
Let's see. Oh, man. Now, of course, accessible anywhere here.
Bam!
Again, another launch. He's got so many launching, crushing blows here. Down to, yes.
God, can we talk about how most of that was unbreakable as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was very, very fair.
Now, he still has the 1-1 back 2. He still has the 1-1 back 2. KB! He just lets the overhead rock. K-Top was not ready for it. And the walking grab, hang on a second. He's going to eat a full combo here. And the breakaway. What's it going to be here for Magic T? Lovely throw tech. He needs one more. One more good situation. That's all for, but it's still active.
This is down to the wire. Tries to go for
the right idea.
Slow. If maybe he inputted it a little later when Spawn flipped over to the other side to follow her on the cross up, maybe he would have had an opportunity there, but it was just a little too... I mean, I guess he was looking for the down shot from Jackie, or for Jackie to not go to the cross-up side. Very unfortunate there for Magic T. I thought I was going to see, an incredible fatal blow conversion there, or, an opportunity to use that fatal blow, because we haven't seen it, throughout the whole set. And I really love the different variation. It's very, very fun to watch. Just seeing the combo ability, which, you can just kind of pop out of nowhere. So
it's sick.
That's gonna.
It really is. I just feel bad because the intention there was to wait for the leap and do the up throw to get the anti-air, but kind of like you quite rightly pointed out, I don't think he was expecting him to just fly completely over. I think it was probably gonna be one of those leaps into shrapnel blast into whatever. Just didn't quite work out. But oh, what a sick sequence that would have been. And again, something I hadn't thought of with Soul Forfeit Spawn is that forward throw KB goes jump in, button into slam into down 2. Like that whole thing is unbreakable, which leads to some rather insane damage to close out what is going to be a final round, right? When you can afford to lose that bar. But hopefully not the last we see of Magic T today. I'd love to see some more of that Spawn rocking on through. But K-Top, he is on a... For those that haven't been watching Open Series, he is on a rather recent tear at the moment. K-Top has been an absolute animal. He won the monthly finals, I believe, the first week of March. And he's won pro competition events, if memory serves. I'm sure he's won one of them. So they're all merging into one for me. I've done so many of these. Sorry for bad information, perhaps. But all I know is that K-Top has been super successful recently.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love even seeing just like his decision making and everything he's doing. But let's talk about this tour and all the points and all the regions that are involved in here. So of course, this is part of the Intercontinental Combat Tour, which is, represented through Europe East, Europe West, Middle East, and Oceania. A lot of different things, a lot of different regions being represented here. And, if you guys are watching at home and you want to participate in this, it's not too late to jump in, get your feet wet, have some fun, compete for some points, and, make some friends along the way. Point structures are 350, 260, 230, 200, 140 for 5th place finishes, and 70 points for the 7th place finishers on all the top 8s for these qualifying regions. And remember, all these regions are going to have a finale at the end of it. North America's East and North America West will have a $10,000 sub-region finals, while Liga Latina, Mexico, Latin America North, Latin America South, and Brazil are going to have $5,000 for each of their sub-regional finals. And Intercontinental, the Europe East, Europe West, Oceania, Middle East, the regions I mentioned earlier, and part of the region, the one region we're seeing right now, going to have a $5,000 regional final at the end of the season. So that's what these guys are competing for. They're trying to get points. They're trying to qualify, get into those top 8, top 16 spots, and then play for when everything's on the line. You can get 2nd, 3rd, 7th place the whole season, but if you take that victory on that last day, that is literally all that matters. So there's always going to be some kind of story to tell there. Always going to be something to look out for, like why someone is playing for this, or this could be the moment where they're like overcoming this demon, or this is the matchup that they're picking differently. But here we go. We're starting here with Destarted and H-Dope. H-Dope, who is the brother as Ketchup just mentioned earlier, to K-Top.
Now, this is another matchup to talk about, you know, because from one brother to another, we saw K-Top moving in, and we're going to see if we're going to have potentially a winners finals here with the two of them. But he's got to get through Desarted, who is one of the best Shang Tsung players in the business, and I'd say undisputed top 2. And competitively right now, you know, has been one of the absolute most successful Shang Tsungs we've ever seen, with variation that you're not used to. Morphs and more morphs. Now, there's that whiff punish. H-Dope, keeping them standing for the pressure to continue. One thing he uses with Shiva, which I I find it interesting, is that he loves going in with the spin. That move right there, which does have pushback, and I know it has a flawless blockable gap in it, but it completely messes up how you would normally deal with. Oh, short hop, that was filth. That was filth. I'll explain it in a sec, because that fatal blow is going to win the round. Desarted short hop back 3. He is just the master of that. My point is that Heatstoke takes that shield spin, because when you want to interrupt Dragon Stance on block, because there's now more recovery frames, right? Or start frames, I guess, is more accurate. You want to press buttons. That shield spin actually stops you from being able to do it. So it's kind of like a brawler Shiva.
Okay, so it's kind of covering all, you know, Shiva's bases. You know, that's what you guys were talking about in that intro video, where, you know, these custom variations give you the opportunity to cover certain weaknesses, and that's something that he, you know, saw thanks to, you know, the latest patch. And, you know, there are answers there. There's something that you can utilize there if your opponent is kind of getting through it. Oh, a trade definitely in the favor of Desarted. That could have been a really, really bad spot. Shiva does, however, get that forward throw here. Desarted deciding to just kind of step all the way back, trying to get as much room between himself and Shiva, especially considering that, you know, he's got all this life lead, this huge life lead. What a conversion there.
Never mind. H-Dope doesn't spend the bar. The meaty mid once again. Looks for a neutral duck, but his button's too slow, and he tries to wake up fatal blow. I mean, a cute idea, I suppose, but in that situation, that meaty was too meaty indeed. But I liked how that the rest of the round played out. Desarted did a great job to just get that early life lead. Dragon Stance from full screen will get shut down by the smoke shake, so that's going to be a great situation. But when we brawl up close, gotta say, I'm kind of surprised that H-Dope didn't. He hit the back forward 4, but he didn't amplify it to create the debuff situation. I wonder why. Because normally in that situation, you would always expect it, you know, because you can do buttons into Dragon Stance, buttons into shield spin, keep them standing. Debuff means that Desarted can't really move around. If he tries to do his pattern to jump 3, he's going to take big damage for it. But I guess something that wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, you know, sometimes people like to conserve bar for further opportunities, or, you know, you're conserving it for a game-winning scenario rather than, you know, a scenario that's going to put you into a game-winning scenario. You know, it could be different things. Could be just total misinput. Could be, you know, didn't realize it in the moment, although the animation is kind of long. But either way, looks like we're going into game number 2. Desarted all over that, you know, shutting down that wake up fatal blow attempt, which is, you know, definitely not fully invincible, and that armor doesn't start up for quite some time.
There's a good amount of chip on that as well.
Oh yeah, definitely a good amount of chip on it.
Oh, watch out for the range.
Yeah, just watch out. Just nicked those legs just a little bit here. Trying to backdash, but I guess Shang's backdash is a little slow. Not really sure, or maybe he's kind of playing to the idea that, okay, H-Dope knows Shang Tsung's backdash is slow, so H-Dope is either going to, you know, bring the stomp forward or leave it exactly where it is.
Did we see that? Wake up 2 into... Oh, wait, counter hit. Was that not a poke? No, it wasn't. If that was a poke, that would have been a crushing blow. And now he's getting cute. Mix up applies, and you're whip punished. Boom! That's the round. You can see H-Dope. Yo, that whole thing came from wake up 2 launch, down 2, down 1 pickup. That was so sick.
Yeah, the down 2 hitting like at the max height as possible, you know, just to make sure you can recover and keep going here. Getting a little tricky with the overhead here. Okay, I see H-Dope. I see what he's doing. Oh, the reptile side. Look at the spacing here from H-Dope all over the whiffs. And, you know, Shiva doesn't have the best whiff punishing buttons, but H-Dope is just placing her like perfectly on screen exactly where she has to be. Forward roll, but Desarted didn't commit too hard. Here comes the reptile slide, getting a little tricky here. H-Dope trying to back off, but I guess not sure if he wants to back off or go in. And Desarted able to tie this up right here. These guys are very close on life. Tries to go for the flawless block up 2.
That's just too short on the range department. And the counter poke fatal blow is going to work out, and that's probably going to be enough. Now, the mix-up. The Queen's punishment low. Something that we haven't actually seen really enforced yet, apart from once at the end of that round. But when you hit someone and you go in for the shield spin, the regular version, I'm not particularly sure what the frame data is on it, but I know that Decided is kind of holding what comes next. Whether he needs to or not, I think just depends on the frame data. But you get hit by the shield spin, and then immediately H-Dope and force the back 2, which gives you that free 50-50. Because the back 2, you've got that second hit, which is overhead. You can cancel it into the low. It's a 50-50 you have to take. And if you get hit by the overhead, bam, Dragon Stance. If you get hit by the low, bam, debuff. And it all seems to come from that shield bash, which is a great... Man, this is the only player I've seen rock this variation of Shiva. I know that some players, they use different things. Like Foxy Grandpa may, for example, we talked about this move, and I know Foxy doesn't particularly believe in it because it doesn't really fit his style, for example. And I think there are a lot of other Shivas that just kind of play a lot more of a kind of reckless style. But H-Dope's got into this with a game plan, and that game plan got him that second game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really powerful tool because it's putting you in the same scenario over and over again against, all your different opponents, whereas, your opponents are not going to be familiar with that stance, like, what's, whiffable, what is, and it forces you to kind of take that string, take the overhead, take the low, really just put yourself in a bad spot over and over again. And, we're seeing it succeed here. H-Dope trying to make the comeback here. Discarded. Ooh, barely whipping there with that Ermac summoning here, trying to go for that lift.
Oh! Again, trying to enforce the mix-up, but this time it just connects on its own. 16% debuff. The wake up down 1. Clipped again. But again, trying to enforce a mix-up. This time, though, the mix-up belongs to Desarted. That reptile slide that may as well be an unblockable. I love the corpse drop. Oh! And it connects late. And he gets the launch, H-Dope. Has to use Breaker. This round has completely slipped away from him, and that will be, if he can build enough meter, yes, just in time, that's the round.
Yeah, it's all about time there. Barely getting enough in terms of resources here, but he was able to do it. He was able to do it, no problem here. Here comes the Shiva Stomp, unblockable. Tracks can be altered. A very, very, very tough tool to deal with right now. A lot of people discussing it here. Dragon Stance coming out.
The moving is always the backdash. I know Shang Tsung's his backdash movement isn't the most amazing, it seems. Oh, at the very least it could be because he's full screen and he can't possibly move, but yeah. He's not got enhanced dragon drop. He can't guide it. He can only delay it, right?
Yeah,
so I'm kind of
that's an equipable move. That's an equipable move to alter the stomp into the left or the right.
Oh, it completely crushed it, Armor. I told you. The shield spin on hit, giving him a mix-up. The fatal blow got blown up. But yeah, my point is that Desarted is trying to move almost as if he's trying to read it being guided or something, and it's not. I'm just a little bit confused, that's all. But lovely answer there for the corpse drop. God, that's filthy.
He just, I mean, the fact that you're putting it there in that space because, if she were to block it, she's not close enough to actually punish it, or a lot of characters have a very hard time punishing it here. So I love the idea. Big jump and kick, probably an OS here right into the Ermac lift. Anti-air from Shiva, not close enough to get that down 1 conversion, but able to amplify that shield bash to kind of keep herself safe here.
But again, he's trying to backdash. He's full screen. Yeah. He can't move, Armor. I'm so confused. Yeah. Lovely punish.
Yeah, no. A little bit of shades of Reptile. Love seeing Reptile here, and he's playing back and forth here. I mean, H-Dope made an incredible adjustment. In game number 2, it looked very, very convincing, and Disheartened just kind of, picked up the pieces and kept going, and I'm not sure if he's familiar with, what you're pointing out in terms of the unblockable stomp being altered. Again, I know that is a equipable ability. It's not something that comes in the default build of Shiva. So, and again, we can probably see it here in the loading screen where we can see what is equipped.
Well, the weird thing is that it's that Desarted's going to the same option every time. Now, backdash mid-screen might work, but when you're full screen, you kind of, the screen is stuck. So sometimes backdashing when you have that much distance to work with, like the screen doesn't have enough time to kind of move and and basically allow you to slip through the net. But Decided is going for the same option every time. So from the fullest of full screen, that stomp is at the moment a free hit because of Decided doing the same thing. Not that it's a huge problem, because he is currently up in this set, but it's something I'd like to see just a little bit different if we see a stomp once more. The corpse drop does catch her on the way up, which we have seen put into good practice. But H-Dope, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Lovely smoke shake, though, to give Shang Tsung that offense and the flawless block. He knows. Bang, bang, down 2. Easy, 25%. Not bad.
Love the whiff punish here. That big jump in 3 does have some recovery as soon as he lands. Shiva looking for the sweep, but not quite close enough there. Shang Tsung just kind of backdashing, playing the spacing game really, really well, going in and out. Okay, this time he kind of went for a forward dash after that first backdash, but again, Shiva's stomp just kind of came down a little too quickly for him to get out of the way.
Uh-oh, here we go, the mix. The low. Eventually. Oh, and again, he's trying to interrupt and he gets blown up. And I actually did just see in the chat room, because I think Babs was asking about it, shield spin being plus 15 on hit. That now means that she's able to push forward and she gets a button afterwards into the mix. I can now see perfectly. And look, he does the forward dash this time. I told you. I told you.
Okay.
That's what I was waiting
he heard
for.
you.
I hope not. I'd get in trouble for coaching. I didn't mean it. It better not be watching the stream, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it's illegal. Not that's against the rules, guys. Straight. Oh, okay. Going for the
and again, forward dash.
Forward dashing, very, very good for him in this scenario. You know, able to make it with, because the forward dash is so much faster than that back dash. I mean, even whether he's mid screen or full screen, like it's just a very sluggy back dash. Like he kind of like moves his body forward before he actually jumps back. So again, all these different animations, like every character is different. Not everybody, you know, can be blessed with incredibly good backdashes.
Oh,
all over it. All over it. All
actually,
over
that's gonna hurt.
Throws coming.
Ooh!
They're 41% because of one throw that you went for. Because of one throw, you left yourself susceptible to that. Looks for the empty jump low again, which is the Disarded special, as Ketchup pointed out before. But watch out! Here's the low. Amplifying it, so if he moves here, he's gonna bleed and bleed and bleed. Lose damage.
Enforces just that pushback in the chip. Back to a range that Decided might be kind of comfortable, though. H-Chip's got to be careful on this one. Now, what's it going to be? The Fatal Blow is ready. The Stomp, but another forward dash. And, ooh, off with the legs. And that's going to be it. But that was the change. That was the one change, is that Stomp without the enhanced Dragon Drop. So here's the thing. When we talk about the Stomp being a really good move, because it is, there's no downplaying the fact that it's one of the best moves in the game. When you enhanced Dragon Drop, the regular Dragon Drop that you can't steer, basically, that is the one that is easier to deal with because there are more kind of universal answers to it. Shang Tsung's forward dash being able to go through it every single time, whether he delayed it or not, clearly was the night and day difference. Because in the previous games, he was backdashing only and getting hit. In that game, I don't think a single stomp actually worked. So that was basically that went from being a free hit for H-Dope to now being free damage that he gives up because it got forward dashed out of. And gotta say, I'm still a big fan of that Shiva variation because you land any hit, you don't need to launch and set up the armor break, which is another area that you can create with Death March and stuff. But take that plus 15, run in, enforce that overhead low mix, which goes into debuff into even more situations. So I'm here for experimentation, man. I like that players are still looking for different ways to play characters, even if you are flavor of the month like Shiva.
Yeah, and it kind of adds to, I mean, I feel like he was taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people are scared of the enhance unblockable stomp, which by enhance we mean enhanced in the equipable custom variations, not
you can steer it.
Not as in amplified. So you have to, come to the fight with that equipped. And a lot of people are just kind of assuming, or, some people don't know that it's not a default thing for Shiva. And I could see how someone could think that because of how much outcry there is in the community about it. So you just kind of assume this is clearly the worst thing in the world. This is so broken. This is so OP. This is so overpowered. Why? But you know, you have to go. And you know, big shout out to Astro Gaming, who is the official audio partner for the Pro Competition. You guys can find out more by going to the Astro Gaming website, which is astrogaming.com. Have a lot of officially licensed PlayStation audio products, which are available now. All the Caster Audio is powered by Astro. So again, huge shout out to them. If you guys are in the market, if you guys are looking for a high quality headset, definitely hit up Astro. These things are so comfortable, so easy to use. And, you know, depending on how much you're willing to spend, I mean, there's a lot of great features. The mix amp is incredible. So easy to use for a lot of different purposes. Whether you're streaming or just, you know, at home on Zoom calls, because that's the world we live in, a lot of good things there for you guys. So check it out as we check out our first losers match here on the lower side of the bracket. What do we have here, Ketchup?
We have Blood Eyes, who has been known for a long time as a Frost specialist, but I think has really fallen in love with Rain as well. Did enter our recent PS4 Tournaments Open Series, getting top 4 finish with Rain all the way. And this is a really nice catch, and Nitros going in with an Aaron Black variation we're not familiar with. Again, I saw the enhanced slide, the version that you can cancel, I believe. So I'm curious to see what the pressure is going to be for that. But this Hydro Boost coming in hot already as Blood Eyes gets to the corner, and importantly, built himself up an escape failed in round 1. So that's going to make that mid versus strike game so much scarier as Rain. He's got mids for days. It's just he has to go in to enforce his game plan, right? He doesn't really have much presence anywhere else on screen. Blood Eyes knows that. And he was going for the grab already. All right, cheeky boy.
Just amplifying, just trying to get him off, trying to, you know, get a little bit of space between himself and his opponent. That is going to be a boot drop that whipped right in front of him. And Aaron Black finding the 2-1 string, able to hit, able to confirm, and some pretty good damage, popping him up again. Here comes the acid drop. Flawless blocking the 3 on Wake Up. He is in his head. He is all over it, ducking under that throw attempt, giving him a throw of his own. Definitely going to keeping him in the corner. Aaron Black, what you going to do? Got an acid drop for us? No, just rifle right to the knees. Watch out,
Blood Eyes
gun's got
making it so obvious he was going for a grab every single time, and it was never at the right range either.
A little bit too far away, or, you know, I mean, I did see Aaron Black just kind of letting go of block in those good scenarios. Here comes the acid drop, trying to stay away. Oh, big jump in over the amplified boot drop. Going to be leaving him for a full combo. Here comes the mids for days, as we were talking about. And he just keeps his pressure going, able to get the stray hits here and there, just kind of keeping Nitros guessing here for their life. Trying to chip away as much as possible. Here comes the back 2-2-2, whiffing for days. Whiff City getting punished, no problem. Blood Eyes back into this game number 1, tying it up 1 round apiece. Oh, the cancel here from the rattlesnake slide. Really adds to the mobility of Aaron Black. You know, you always got to kind of think twice about what he's actually going to be doing. Side switching, go to the other side, not coming down in time with a button. Here comes the sneaky slide. Very unsafe stuff, but a great way to keep your opponent on their toes. Always afraid of it. Big corner carry, coast to coast, all the way here. A lot of a lot of cancels here from the stances.
I like that play, though, from Blood Eyes, because the thing about Rain's Geyser Palm is that when you use the regular version that doesn't launch, it's double-digit plus frames on hit. It's like plus 20-something, so it kind of gives you that situation. A nice Fatal Blow coming out from Nitrous. And now what do we get after this? Fatal Blow's ready for Rain as well. I think that forward 2 KB is still locked and loaded. There's a lot of utility here for Blood Eyes, but he has to close in distance first. Oh, good God. He did it from that far away.
He just did it. He just did it. He just did it. I mean, it worked. Obviously, it worked. As you can see here, Aaron Black getting split apart by Rain.
Yo, fatality.
That's a statement. That's 100% a statement. That is someone feeling themselves. They went on a really crazy call out there with that fatal blow, and you know, you just feel yourself so hard. You're so amped up on your ability to make that decision, and you know, sometimes the moment just gets the best of you. I don't think he was necessarily going to fatality on that first game. Most players don't, because you know. Oh, if you're Aaron Black, yeah, definitely 100%. But it's Oh, he was feeling himself. He was definitely feeling himself with that decision. This is very risky move to go for it. Most fatal blows are very punishable from a lot of different ranges. Some aren't punishable at max range. You know, and again, that depends on what character you're going up against in terms of what they have accessibility to or access to. Longer ranged moves. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we see some kind of adjustment here.
Yeah, it's a new variation. We have the Scud Shot and the Down
yeah.
Peacemaker. That Down Peacemaker becoming very popular with Aaron Black players. I remember a lot of Aaron Black players when Ultimate came out being like, that low Peacemaker? Nah, it's no good. Not a good move. And now almost everyone is using it. But as we now go forward here. Oh, the punish?
Got some variations. Yeah, big punish. He's been doing that a lot to the boot drop. Like as soon as he sees the boot drop, whether he amplifies it or not, here comes the jump in. If he amplifies it, cool. He's still gonna be not gonna be able to block. If he doesn't amplify it, even if he does get to block, you're still in a pretty good position because Rain wants to be right in your face.
Now, a bit of a preemptive break there from Nitrous, who was definitely, I think, expecting the Hydro boost, not the Hydroplane. But that does mean that we're going to get some free damage from Blood Eyes and just taking away the defensive bar anyway. That in and out, Rain. One thing he's always been able to do is just make you whiff through his movement alone. And that's something that's not easy to do. You need to have a good grasp on the game. And he went from Frost to Rain, Rain being able to slide around all over the place. That forward one. But that forward one is being buffered into Down Peacemaker. It gives Aaron Black a lot more utility from some of his mids. There's that 1-3-4. We're starting to create this overhead game that you got to watch out for. Instant jump, and he's making the call out. You point out Armor, but now Nitrous is well aware.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all about adapting to your opponent, adapting to what strategy is going for. Scud Shot, that could have been a lot worse for Blood Eye, so I think he's a little lucky there in that scenario. Back throw, the waves pushing him back as far as possible. And the Scud Shot just to kind of get off of the move, amplifying, of course, going to be super duper safe. Oh, I thought he was going to get some kind of whiff punish in that scenario, but looks like he wasn't able to swing fast enough. Little short hops, and Blood Eyes never really put themselves in a bad situation.
Another fatality. Oh, come on, dude, do the other one.
At this point, you're committed.
I know, but come on. If you're going into this thing of I'm going to fatality you every game, there's 2 fatalities per character, Blood Eyes.
I agree.
And the other one's better. It's got eyeballs. Wait, what? Who said that?
You don't.
Ugh.
They love eyeballs in this game. The animating the eye. There's probably a whole team of people that just animated that eyeball or the different eyeballs in all the different scenarios.
I want to know who animated the eyeballs. The area of expertise.
I don't think it's one person. It's gotta be like a whole team with how detailed and the versatility with the eyeballs, because it appears in all these different fatalities. No way it was one person.
But you know what? We're seeing some good Rain right now, and Nitrous just getting overwhelmed by it. Now, this is going to be a different element of the matchup. Sonya is going to be able to... The reality is, she's going to be able to zone Rain a lot more efficiently. Because she has that projectile. It's something that Rain has to deal with. Shoutouts to the Ultimate MK3 skin, always. But, yeah, this is the situation with Rain. He's great when he's point blank, but there are a lot of characters that can kind of prevent him from getting there, even with his good movement. So Blood Eyes, he is going to have to kind of play a little bit more of a patient game. You can see here, it's the basically Ringmaster plus good jumping is this variation. So we're going to get some zone in here. Watch out for it.
Yeah, watch out, Ring. I mean, the Ring shots recover so they start up so quickly, they recover so quickly. So that's really what puts Sonya's zoning.
Zonia
at the top. Yeah, Zonia, definitely Zonia. Oh, tries to go for the high, and that's definitely a weakness of Sonya. Very lack of mids. All her good strings, all her mix-up potential really comes from a high starting string. So that's why you saw Blood Eyes just immediately challenging with that down 2, or challenging with anything really.
Oh, waits for the inevitable down 1. Blood Eyes, he is that 1 step ahead. He puts himself minus knowing that Nitrous is going to do a low poke, lets it happen, and just allows you to be minus. Jumps himself into the corner, though. That's going to create an interesting game here. Again, no anti-air attempt, respecting the jump 3. Now, something we don't see a lot over in EU is when Rain players use that Hydro boost, a lot of people just don't try and anti-air it. Oh, wake up on 3.
Oh, and it actually kind of worked out there. A little bit of a scramble situation. Oh, not anticipating it to actually find the hit. So, you know, that's kind of why we opting to go for a little bit of zoning here instead. Nice conversion here. Forward dashing, canceling out of it, and just doing the damage as much as possible here. Nice dress. Getting on the board here. One round with this Sonya. This last effort pick here.
And we do know that Blood Eyes, the specialist, he does have multiple variations for his 2 characters. Oh! And that's just a down 2 out of nowhere. I didn't force a mid there too, to be honest, after just getting hit by a down 2 in that situation. Short hop into mix. There's that 1-3 again. Blood Eyes enforces the overhead as well. There's the short hop answer back almost immediately. But he gets the jump in, and he still manages the pick up. And he expects you to break. Oh, God, what is going on here? Oh, no! Spaghetti all over the floor.
Yeah, that was a really strange situation. Getting up, I mean, dropping the combo, but you got up and you weren't ready to block, but I guess because he wasn't ready to see a very punishable move coming at him. So, I mean, I totally get it, especially in this high risk, high tension situation.
Oh!
Gets the brutality, the back throw, just popping him up,
Take no prisoners.
exploding, just pieces of him all over the place. I'd say brutality is a tougher statement than a fatality, but that's just my opinion. I think that's you know, you're in such control of the situation that you can fulfill that specific end game requirement here, and yeah, it's got to feel good. Sonya doing it here. Very close match. Very close match. You know, a lot of back and forth, 1 round apiece, but I think it's working. I think it's working, and I'm not seeing Sonya, you know, miss a beat. They got the conversion there with the ring hold dash cancel, no problem. Able to get some good damage. It looks like we're staying with Rain. Staying with Rain. We're not straying away.
Yeah, because he's either going to go Rain or Frost recently. And when it comes to Rain, I've seen him use 2 variations so far, and I think he's gone with the same one. Yeah, he has. The other one replaces the hydroplane for the tidal wave, which is the low, which kind of creates that 1-3 game. Makes it a lot more dangerous because you've got 1-3-4 overhead, 1-3 tidal wave low. It's definitely, I think it's a 50-50. I don't think he can see it. But Blood Eyes going back in. Oh, one of those
accidental breakaway.
breakaways.
No, it hurts. It hurts. Yeah, because of the input. And you know, this is a complaint that a lot of people have had for, you know, quite some time. Is that input happens to you a lot because you're looking to block low, and you know, you're holding down and block, and you know, that's just the right time for you to hit breakaway. That's really unfortunate. My heart is out, and it's really hard to come back from something like that.
Good block on the low though from Blood Eyes. Gets opened up. No fatal blow. Probably trying to set it up for the next situation, but I like that. Blood Eyes creates the distance and space. Does not want to put himself within comeback distance of Sonya. But now that's not really going to be his choice. Back to the wall. The jump in, and he's anti-aired. He is anti-aired. And actually, he doesn't even need to use the fatal blow. The threat of it alone made Blood Eyes back up. And then he gets clipped by a trip guard.
Fight.
Uh-oh.
Overhead, opening him up, no problem here. Gonna be converting for some good damage here. Jumping over the other side. Lots of combo potential coming out of Rain here. But Sonya does opt to go for that breakaway, coming out of it really quick.
Oh, he's getting constantly clipped. Blood Eyes is having a bad time, and hang on a minute. Yeah, swinging that forward too. Another confirm. Lets it go.
Can he do this incredible comeback here? Oh, finds the hit, but didn't commit to the rest of it. Back it off as much as possible. No challenge until after that jump in, and she was able to swing for it. Not trying to put herself in such a bad scenario, not trying to, you know, do something that was going to be too risky. So I definitely agree with the patient approach there. Didn't want to challenge the jump in after the geyser, the rising geyser that you saw there, and just kind of waited for Rain to get on the ground, waited for the right opportunity to just check him with a nice crouching poke.
That's a difficult situation to deal with, I think, if you're Blood Eyes. You're making such a comeback and you get the jump in and the immediate mash down one comes out in between. But here we go. He's gone in with a variation that I always knew he had in the back pocket, but haven't seen yet. We have the Rift, the thing that absorbs projectiles. It kind of gives him that counter zoning game, which I think he's going to need against Sonya. Having to close in the distance and go within a range that she likes. So he's actually swapped the Geyser Palm for it, though. He really likes the combination of Hydroplane and Hydro Boost. That's one thing I've grown to notice about Blood Eyes.
Round one. Fight.
Right,
now,
so
this will change the game.
Yeah, the Rift is going to be more for, you know, trying to deal with the zoning from Sonya.
But he's getting constantly clipped. That mid already. Decent damage. With punish. That double dash. Looking for a grab.
Short hop action coming out of Sonya. A little tricky there. You know, the overhead coming out almost instantly here. Throwing down the Rift. And, you know, Sonya just trying to get past this Rift. Trying to, you know, get back on offense. So you're kind of, you know, turning the tables on her. This is a character that's really used to making you go through all this zoning, go through all these, you know, ring energy rings coming at you, but, you know, it kind of just changes it up. But right now, she's got a huge life lead, so she had no reason to go to him. And even with that Rift in play, the Rift that's equipped, it didn't matter because the life lead is a big determinant of, you know, the overall vibe, the overall you know, mood of the match, of this specific matchup.
Oh, there it is, the Rift immediately through. But you're noticing there is a massively increased rate of the drone drop purely because it's to go behind and bypass it and create this extra layer of what they're playing so far. Oh, the Rift eats up the airborne ring as well. Okay.
It looked like she was trying to get like right past it. She just wasn't quite in front of it yet, or right past it yet. Mids for days. Definitely something Rain's got. Short hop there, the overhead coming out. Very risky stuff, because had she blocked it, that would have been a really, really big punish. But look at the life lead. He had a lot to play with there. Blood Eyes not sweating it at all. This is a game 5, final round situation. This is everything on the line. And right now, Blood Eyes running away with it. Again, another jump kick to stop her out of the sky, because of course you want to jump to get out of the corner. This is not a good spot. Big boot to the face. Thanks to the interactable, very corner, very stage-specific tool utilized here.
Oh, he tries to anti-air, but it's the jump kick this time. Blood Eyes. Hang on a minute. His back's in the wall. What's it going to be here? Oh, brutality! Oh, God. And there we go. The win at the last minute. The reverse sweep denied in the last possible second. But I think that's going to be some relief from Blood Eyes, because you never want to get hit by that reverse sweep. There's no galaxy where it feels good to concede that. But that will be Rain moving forward, and we'll be seeing a little bit more Rain later.
And to add to, you know, that potentially hurt situation, you know, he did start the end of the first game by performing a fatality. So if you were to do that and still end up losing the set, especially if you're up 2-0, that's definitely not a good feeling. But, you know, you gotta imagine, you know, what if Nistras went with Sonya out the gate? You know, that could have been a completely different set. And unfortunately, that's, you know, what tournament play is about. Is, you know, you got to come prepared to these things. You got to, you know the matchup specifically. And, you know, it could have been maybe a character-specific matchup that was going to help more as Sonya, or it could have been a player-specific thing where, you know, this is the type of player that, you know, I have a really hard time opening up when I'm not playing Sonya. So it all comes down to that. And that's definitely going to be, you know, food for thought later on, because we do have more weeks of these qualifiers. And, you know, both these players are up there at the top of the list. So, you know, we could be seeing a, you know, regional final showdown of these two players. And that's the day where, you know, a lot of us on the line in terms of, you know, money, we're past points. And if you guys want to get involved, if you guys want to compete, all you guys got to do is check out PlayStation 4 tournaments. You have to go to compete.playstation.com to be a part of the action. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great things that you can get by going in here and competing. PS4 tournaments are weekly competitions for all skill levels. You can compete against your friends and rivals for unique rewards. And all you have to do is visit the PlayStation 4 Competition Center. It's the one destination that has Mortal Kombat content that gives you an inside look at how top players play, and you get to see tips and tricks for players of all skill levels. So head over, compete.playstation.com. You guys can be a part of the action. There's a lot of other things there, not just fighting game tournaments. They have other genres and other fighting games. So the only way to find out is if you guys check it out. Now, I believe we have one more for our round 1 losers matches. Our final round 1 is going to be between Nivik and Miss Vaska. Nivik, who Ketchup mentioned before, is the third Grease player that's in here, but he's the Grease player that's kind of been a part of the original generation and, still active, still out there, doing his thing, competing, whether it's on a, global scale event or something a little bit more local or online like this. Like Nivik is, that competitor that goes out there and plays, as hard as he possibly can, not just in Mortal Kombat, but I know he's also been playing a lot of Tekken. So this is a very talented player that kind of transcends into, beyond just NRS, but he's definitely been a big staple in the Greek fighting game community for those games and other games. I know he's very passionate about that.
He has been for many years. As long as I've known him, he's been a top level competitor, and he's been in the FGC longer than I have, and I've been in it for 10 years. So it kind of just goes to show just how long Nivik's been a part of it, really. Yeah. But this is, I think he's been playing a lot of, I don't even know what kind of characters he rocks now, because I know that Jackie was a big pick for him, but I haven't seen him play in some time. Is he still rocking the Jackie? Does he have any other characters in his back pocket? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I know he's a fan of Cabal, but I think that was more so in like the beginning of the game.
Yeah, early on.
He was playing back and forth between Jackie and Cabal. Now with custom variations, especially because of how talented he is, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a completely different character or something a little bit more obscure of a pick rather than just going with Cabal or Jackie. But those characters are very strong right now. And Nivik's not too shy to pick those really good characters. Looks like we're going to be going with Jackie in this scenario.
Well, the Jackie makes sense. It's just a character that suits Nivik's style in this game. Miss Vaska rocking the Katana, who's a character that I think the community just can't decide on right now, whether they think that she's a good character, whether she's a bad character. We have the Flutter. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at this variation right here. So we have the Fan Flutter coming through, the low fan toss, and we'll see what that ground war brings to the table. Because I'm going to be honest, you just don't see a lot of katanas in tournament anyway. So I'm excited to see what this... Oh, look at that custom. That mask. Sick.
Low fan going to be opening up for, not just zoning options, but also, potential mix-up opportunities. Now, of course, it's definitely, huge whiff. You don't want to do that in front of anybody. You're going to be recovering 4 days. Susceptible to a huge combo here. Nivik cashing in big and adding a little bit of flair there at the end with that damage over time, that blue goop that's on the ground. You don't want to be on there because your life is slowly ticking away every second that you belong on there. Conversion here from Miss Vaska.
I mean, I just don't want to overcommit just in case there's some kind of break or something like that. That's now Nivik. Pretty down on life. Oh, with the dash point as well. Okay, there's a pickup. And that will be round 1. Coming out here from Miss Vaska.
Round 2, fight.
A little bit of a trade here, both players. Kind of not really getting a huge situation here, but again, just whiffing right in front of Jackie. Bad idea. Gonna go for the side switch, getting a little bit closer to the corner, trying to cut off as much real estate, because especially in this matchup, you're gonna be seeing more zoning coming out of Katana, whether that's, those high fans that are pretty fast, or those low fans that are a little tricky there. Instead of ending that string with the regular overhead, going for the low, risky stuff, but a great way to keep somebody on their toes, continuing to guess here. Swinging for the fences is Jackie, trying to just take this right here, right now. Miss Vaska getting out of there.
Let's go.
too. Really smart stuff there. Put yourself in a very, static situation. Can she make this comeback? One hit in the fatal blow should take it for her if she does find it. Some fans all over the place. Low fans, straight fans, air fans. And Nivik just saying, I'm waiting for the opportunity. Now Nivik definitely doesn't have the life lead, has to commit to some kind of forward movement here.
So sick.
Gets the forward throw. Smart move. I mean, we haven't seen too many throws, in, the last 20, 30 seconds of that round, but it was mostly because it was just an all-out zoning war, a very one-sided zoning war. Katana was trying to throw the fans, trying to just kind of get Nivik to, give up not free damage, but I would say easy damage. And, Nivik was kind of caught in a really tough spot because he was like, well, I do have a life lead, but it's a very slight life lead, so I don't know if I want to actually, commit to, a super jump, commit to some kind of offense, or if I should try to wait it out. In fact, you can actually see back in that round, Nivik was trying to flawless block as much as possible to minimize that chip, to hold on to that little bit of life lead that he had, but it was just too much time on the clock. I mean, if there was 10 seconds left, 15 seconds maybe, I would agree with it. But there was like almost 30 seconds left on the clock, and the fact that Katana has low fan, which you cannot duck under, her high fan or her air fan, you can definitely duck under. That's no problem. That's a little easy to navigate around. But, throw that low fan in the mix, it's going to be very, very tough to flawless block every single one of those.
And I think just nice application of good ranged gameplay too. Just nice discipline being shown here. Katana definitely can be one of the lamest characters in the game, and I don't mean that as a negative term towards the character. I mean that, that kind of dry keep away that can frustrate and create these opportunities where the opponent will make a mistake. Katana's really good at enforcing that, and now Ultimate being able to allow her to put some moves together that makes that game plan even more effective than it already was. I mean, Katana's one of the kind of hidden killers of this game, I think.
I mean, I'm definitely feeling like that after that last game.
Yeah, amazing comeback. You know what I mean? It was an amazing comeback to make, but a hard-earned one because it's not. She doesn't have this explosive factor to her. You just have to do a lot of little things well.
And it's physically draining on you too. Like to play in that style and that strategy. Your games where you win, I think it takes a lot more out of you rather than someone who's very offensive, can do damage really high damage really fast out of a few scenarios. It's not as taxing emotionally. Right now, Nivik running away with this here. Jackie making sure she does as much damage as possible. Looking for some kind of down two crushing blow, maybe some kind of fish for like a throw attempt or some kind of high challenge. Either way, good block there on the low. Nivik just going right out with that dash punch as if it's not unsafe on block still. Mids. Jackie's got mids for days, man. Jackie's mids are so good, so great to just kind of, challenge or just check somebody here in a lot of scenarios. Get down one for the anti-air from Miss Vasco. Oh, jumps in over those projectiles, but not able to get too much damage, just kind of settling for a throw. Could be a, just trying to take advantage of the best situation that you can here in that scenario, and that's going to be all Nivik. Just a down blast, ending it nice and pretty with that dash punch brutality, knocking her head right off.
A good showing though, because in that situation, I mean, we saw some, just for lack of a better term, a bit more offense, more opportunities to just close in that distance and not having to play that kind of Katana neutral, which she's so good at enforcing. And Nivek, he kind of threaded the needle just enough to get in and then do what he needs to do. There's a reason Jackie is said to be the most aggressive character in the game. She just has so many different options when she closes in that space that even if you lose a game previously, that game is just going to give you nothing but data over what kind of things you can change in the next game to be totally different. And not a lot of characters actually have that option. You can change a couple of things here and there, but Jackie, she can totally overhaul it from game to game.
Yeah. Nivik seemed a lot more reserved in that first game, like not as willing to take these risks. But I think he needs to realize that it's well worth the reward. Like you get that jump in. I feel like when you're fighting against a character or player that likes to, play a little bit more full screen, optimize zoning a little bit more, when you get jump-ins on those kinds of players, those kinds of characters, I feel like it's just the success, the rewards that you get for it, like what you do to them mentally is like, it's so much more damaging than any other character, any other kind of player. So, that amplifies a reward even more. Super jumping right on wake up, not a great idea. Definitely not invincible. That's gonna be some bleeding damage over time. There, as you can see, her health bar just kind of slowly ticking away here as the blood just gushes out of her head. Side switching for the corner positioning here. Nivik looking for some kind of whip, but Miss Vasta does not give it to him. Rolling back and just looking into Fatal Blow. Right into Fatal Blow, rolling back and, trying to just stop any kind of potential meaty because, the timing is definitely a lot different. And you're also opening up the space between yourself and your opponent. So rolling back, the cost of one defensive bar, definitely a really, really good way to spend it.
Fantastic air to air too, spinning that bar just to land enough to capitalize. Looking for it again. Short hop, that was definitely some kind of flawless block, I'm pretty sure. But the breakaway used. Lovely tech there from Nivek, but Miss Vaska in control so far. Ooh, there's the jump in. I'm going to put Katana towards the corner, so this could be where Jackie starts to explode a little bit. The defense. How long can you block? Oh, her jump in's good, but the air to air for Jackie. Faster.
Nivik's been on point with these air-to-airs. I mean, the challenges, especially in scenarios where, like, I feel like he's getting up or he's taking to the air a lot later. So, in terms of frame data, he shouldn't be able to, press the button way before. Because in that scenario, a lot of people are preemptively pressing the jump in. But he is just so good at knowing when they're going for empty jumps or when they're going for really, really deep buttons, really deep punches or jumps. Gets the trade definitely in Jackie's favor. Throw tech, super clutch in this scenario. He does not want to let off. His teeth are...
Look at that chip!
Oh, no. Oh, gets the anti-air, but doesn't get the conversion. And unfortunately, because she's super negative at the end of that string, Nivik knew there was no opportunity for her to avoid that mid because Jack has got a really, really fast mid. So, you're not ducking under it. You're not getting around it. Maybe you're going to flawless block up 3 it, but very unlikely in that scenario. Very tough thing to pull off. And Nivik looking to turn this around, losing that first game, because of the, just getting outplayed at mid to full screen, becoming a little impatient or I'm sorry, being over patient at times. Now Nivik's just kind of switched it up, being really aggressive, getting past all this zoning, utilizing that super jump as best as he can. And it's, the joke is that, although Jackie doesn't really have projectiles in most variation builds, herself acts as the projectile as she just kind of leaps in from, really far away, whether that's, the dash punch that comes out real fast, hits as a high, or if she's just super jumping over, the obstacles you're trying to throw out in front of her to try to keep her away. And once she gets in, that is a lot of damage. I mean, this character's damage output is insane.
And the chip damage and the damage over time in the corner is something that we're starting to see developed. I think recently, K-Top was the first player I really saw relish that. Get that kind of dash punch knocked down into short hop and then everything else. Oh, there's a counter hit to start. Importantly, taking away that damage over time. Now we create that distance. But again, that's it. One leap, close in the space, and now we begin the classic Jackie. Oh, God. That's a full combo right there. Was looking to be the cheeky counter poke, perhaps, but either way, we just get the full confirm anyway. Oh, dear. Looking for the ender. Oh, another neutral jump is good. And that's damage that you cannot challenge as Nivek now brings himself onto match point here. We'll be closing out these first rounds of games real soon if he keeps this up.
Could be the downward shot, and that is not where you want to be. You don't want to be underneath Jackie because she is just coming down with a world of hurt for you. The air-to-airs, Nivik's so good at that. It's very, like, I feel like it's a very specific to Nivik type of thing. cashing in not super big. I think he's just trying to, you know, seal the deal right here, right now, which he should, thanks to that down 2 at the end. Even if she did go for the breakaway, not going to be able to avoid that damage, and you're going to be up in the corner, even if you know, survived it somehow. A little nod, a little friendship here from Nivik as Nivik moves on, and unfortunately, Katana no longer in this tournament. Nivik's looking great, man. A great adjustment. And it was just powerful offense. Like getting through everything she was throwing at him. Just getting through it and you know, just continuing to be the aggressor in a lot of scenarios.
Well, it's like I said, that first game, whilst it was a really, really impressive showing from Miss Vasca, it's the fact that that first game, I think, gave you a lot of information over how to approach the neutral for the next games that we played. And that really is all there was to it, because Jackie, she is that not exactly touch of death character, but she hits you once and she can create the entire downfall of the rest of the round, because it's pressure on pressure on pressure on pressure. And if you have a character that's very neutral focused and super good at keeping you at arm's reach, you just figure out, is there a pattern here? Is there an opportunity where, okay, I got hit last time by a fan or whatever. Why is that? Or all kinds of different questions you can ask. And he went into the rest of the games a lot more prepared, I think, Nivek was. As now he moves on, and we'll be going into our next round of matchups. But before we go to a break and we start to continue the rest of today's bracket, speaking of which, here you can see here the winners finals, K-Top versus Desarted, a matchup that they've played once or twice already, thanks to things like Open Series and all of it funneled through PS4 tournaments, of course. And then losers round 2. Oh, H-Dope versus Blood Eyes. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. But check out some official merch you can get your hands on. This supports the pro competition and everything else. You can go to amazon.com/Mortal Kombat. You can customize some of them to display your region, you know, whether it's NA, Liga Latina, Intercontinental, and all the different characters that you can see on your screen. Just get some cool merch, man. Support the show, support the pro comp, and get involved. We're going to go for a quick break, but when we return, the EU East qualifier here for Pro Competition will return alongside it.
Jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series.
Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app.
Filter by type and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play.
Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time.
A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match.
Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition here. We're in the EU East, week number 5. I almost said EU week number 5, but we are on the eastern side here of things. We're halfway through this bracket, give or take. My name is Mr. Rockman. I'm excited to be joining you guys here as Darth Arma and Catcher brought you guys the first tail end of this top 8. But before we get into what is happening right now in the middle of this bracket, let me tell you guys a little bit about the Open Series here for PS4 tournaments. The Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition is presented by PS4 tournaments. Go ahead and check out that Open Series I was talking about. It is weekly competition for all skill levels. Compete against your friends and rivals for unique rewards every single week. You can visit the PlayStation 4 Competition Center, the one destination that has Mortal Kombat 11 content that gives you an inside look as to how top players play, think, tips and tricks from all players and skill levels and regions. Even if you check out those videos, it's pretty cool. And all you have to do is go to compete.playstation.com, sign up with your PSN, and you are in there, baby. And it is that simple.
Yeah, a lot of great content on there, and we have a great top 8 for you guys. If you guys are just joining us, you already missed a great set of matches here so far. K-Top was able to take it over Magic T, and Desarded able to take it over H-Dope. 2 incredible bouts. So if you guys did miss it, you definitely want to check it out in the VOD a little bit later. But right now we're going to be focusing on, we're going to keep going through the loser side of the bracket, the lower bracket. Blood Eyes able to take it over Nistras, and Nibik able to take it over Miss Vasca. And so that's how these matches are going to be played out for the rest of the top 8. Of course, the winner side, the upper bracket, are all the players that have not lost a set yet, while the lower bracket, or the losers bracket, are the players who have lost 1 tournament set so far. It's a double elimination tournament. Once you lose 2, you're out of the tournament. So just to kind of see how the structure plays out. I know double elimination is a little bit new or different to people, especially if your point of reference is, something more mainstream like a regular sport, where things are often single elimination in the playoff season. But just to kind of break down
tennis, which
yeah,
can have a couple hundred entrants. It's bracket formation, but always single elimination. And when everyone's like, wait, you can have a second life? Absolutely, here in the fighting game community, baby. If you sign up for these tournaments.
Yeah, definitely a great way to kind of go into some sort of redemption, because that doesn't mean that you're out of it. You fall into that lower bracket, you're going to be playing other players that have also lost. So, it kind of gives you that different spark, that new spark of motivation. All I have to do is beat people who have already lost. How hard can that be? But of course, in a competition like this, Mortal Kombat 11, highly competitive, especially here in all different regions. Now that we have opportunities, we have the spotlight, the streamlight for all these different regions. These guys have just been coming at it with everything they got. And I see it week after week, month after month. These guys are just coming out with better strategies, more, on point execution, and just different ways to look at things. Yeah.
Honestly, this match is a perfect example of that. I wanted to talk about those first round matches that had happened, and even in the losses, we saw both of these guys, or more particularly coming from H-Dope, different Shiva that you're talking about, coming in with something a little more unique. And here from Blood Eyes, a complete turnaround from competitive rain that we see on the North American side of things. One that's actually using hydroplane, one that's using other moves. Besides the general geyser palm combo that we see from North American Rain players, and he's using it perfectly in this particular matchup. That I'm really curious what we're going to see is if Hydroplane or any of these other wacky Rain moves like Hydro Boost come into play versus Shiva Stomp, and what kind of counterplay we're expected to see here early on. And gonna get a right read there, trying to break out that rift to stop the Shokan stance. And this is just excellent Mortal Kombat 11 and unique stuff from both players, because on the H-Dope side, we're seeing a much less dropless Shiva, much less Shokan stance Shiva, and one that's actually focused on the up-close game that she has, which is still incredibly scary. This is scary all over the place, and something that we don't see a lot is what I'm trying to get to, Arma. I know it's a long rant, but we're seeing some Mortal Kombat, baby.
Oh yeah, we definitely are. We're also seeing a lot of jumping forward coming out of Rain here, which really was like his opener for pretty much every single one of those opportunities. What a great backdash, making sure that Shiva, Unblockable Stomp, is does whiff. Now again, remember, it's because she doesn't have the altering stomp equipped here in this custom variation. So, you know, not always possible in, you know, when you're fighting other Shivas, but in this scenario, H-Dope, you know, is not able to do that. So Blood Eyes just trying to apply as much damage as possible here. Not sure what he was looking for there. Maybe a flawless block. I know there is a gap between the regular shield bash and the amplified portion of it. Trying to throw up that rift, try to stop these projectiles. I don't know how it didn't connect. I thought that jump kick was just going to stop her in her tracks. And she was able to throw out.
Oh, I was gonna say, for that to be the only jump kick that didn't work was what was really scary right there. It looked really close.
Oh,
it
and
again,
again
this time. Oh, the heartbeat. Okay, Blood Eyes. No, you're right. That range jump kick has been a big part of this offense. It's one of the primary offensive tools that character has. You talk about a Black Adam axe kick from the past, shutting down any anti-air attempts, and he's done a good job of kind of countering the zoning as well. Getting one absorb, able to take a trade on the second one, and that guitar doing some great damage and having some wonderful, if not absurd, speed of its own.
Yeah, so that rift really just kind of stops any one projectile, whether it's a big projectile, like when she amplifies the stance, or tried to get around it, but not able to, you know, get to the other side of Shiva, and that's going to be an easy confirm, easy first match victory here from H-Dope, as Shiva just kind of pounds her way through it, and Rain had nowhere to go. He tried to jump off that interactable, getting a little bit resourceful. I don't want to say getting a little desperate, but he was getting resourceful there, you know, knew what was at his disposal, what he could use, but you know, H-Dope just not overcommitting there, not putting himself in a bad scenario, and just trying to keep really calm.
It was really good play with, you know, even though the zoning didn't work out immediately, you could see that he was very adamant, very forceful in just kind of continuing that mindset, right, of this is what it's going to take to win, and said, I'm okay with, you know, losing that first round the way he did, but having a health deficit in round number 2, still stuck it out with the more zoning, less risk-takey play that you were talking about. Kept it really safe, and it ended up actually paying off, and now it even forced a switch off of Blood Eyes here, and what are we even watching? Rain to Scarlet?
No.
Is this MK9 DLC all over again?
A little nod to the MK9 days when the roster used to just pop out of that one side and it just went on forever with all the DLC. It was like, oh, we can add DLC to this game? Let's do it. All right, Scarlet, really zone heavy, but she is kind of widely seen in the community as one of the worst characters in this game. A little sluggish there on that forward dash. I guess she couldn't get around that Shiva stomp thanks to that slight delay from Shiva. Getting a back throw and, yeah, hitting that crushing blow requirement there. However, that's not going to be available for the rest of this match. Teleport.
Wait a minute.
Smart stuff.
Oh,
that's
no.
Unfortunate. If it was any other character.
Yeah, well, almost any other character, but Shiva for sure. She only reaches to the sky.
Yeah, very specific up to, you know, all the characters up to have very different hitboxes, very different animations, startups, recovery, but Shiva's is definitely not one of the better ones to use as a flawless block of gaps. The Dragon's Dance trying to chip out as much as possible, canceling before that last one just to get a little tricky. Oh, that's going to be a huge punish. Scarlet trying to go for that absorb there, and Shiva not having any of it. Another little cancel.
I actually just saw that may have been the first Shiva. Fox, I think, a couple times to Dragon Temple, but you watching the forward 4 as well. You know, putting that nice, quick, beefy mid on the screen. And these forward 4s from Blood Eyes, no mix that he's attempted has worked at all. And talk about hopes being deleted for that round. That is just guaranteed damage there, because you have to respect the anti-armor breakaway, and H-Dope is making this work with this, you know, shield-style Shiva that's got a mix of kind of everything.
Yeah, a lot of utility here. Oh, here comes the stomp. Yeah, and just gonna teleport, but this time, she actually, it looked like it might have been an input error. You know, she accidentally teleported the second time rather than just getting the regular punish, or maybe she just didn't want to deal with it.
It didn't work. Or a 12th level read that simply didn't work, where, you know, you have those mind games of doing a teleport and then doing another teleport in hopes that they whiff, thinking that you're going to be where you teleported the first time. Welcome to Mind Games 101, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, that's right. I mean, you can't be too far ahead because you just round up back in the beginning. Just back to square one. All right, trying to throw up some dragon stance, but H-Dope getting a little patient here, just canceling out, and wants to get, you know, wants to make wants to reduce that gap between himself and his opponent, wants to get the pressure going here. Oh, if he just went with the straight one, that would have been it. That would have been all she
read that was. I don't know.
He thought she was going to jump.
That's crazy. As it gives, but I was hoping it does. Oh my goodness, the risk of all.
Why did that work?
I can't believe it.
Why did that work?
I can't believe it.
Why did that work? I mean, at that point, Blood Eyes was just like, well, I'm just gonna.
Okay. I have a hard.
I'm just gonna do it.
H-Dope may have read because Blood Eyes did 3 times in a row. Is a 4-3-4 or 4-4-3? I can't remember off the top of my head, but doing that string 3 times, if I remember correctly, exactly in a row, into parry. Even after he had shown that he'll up 2 it, or up 3 it, was still committing to it. I think 3 times in a row, and then right there at the end may have made a hard read. That's what was coming, and could have done a down 3 or something to get some hit advantage with a low. That's maybe, but could not be the case as well. But that's that I know is one thing that was on the back of my mind, was that mind game in that exact spot right there. And then when you think about it, and you're like, if he does it again, what's my option for it? And then you do that, and then you still lose because he just made a really good read with the fatal blow at the end. So that's one reason where letting go of block may have happened right there, or messing up an up 3 or up 2 flawless block.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty quick. You know, if you're not holding on a block in that very specific moment,
a lot of options.
You know, it's very, very punishable. A very, very risky situation. But he saw the payoff as, I will win this game, so I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go for it. And right now, H-Dope switching over to a different character, Cetrion. I didn't see the rest of the float out there. But right now we see some ground stompage, regular boulder, which is included in her default build out, so that's not things specific here. But that ground pound really going to stop a lot of the things that Scarlet is trying to do. She's usually trying to set up some kind of zoning here from full screen. She can teleport anywhere or right behind you at any time.
Yeah, this is,
you know, just like Cetrion can.
Yeah, but say this is actually just a mirror match, and H-Dope probably just went to the on paper better version of Scarlet. He's like, I can do everything you can do, but it might be a little bit better here.
I mean, I think it's kind of
even
insulting.
The low profile.
I think it's kind of insulting to Cetrion to say that this is any kind of mirror match, because, you know, we're talking about two completely...
in a play style, you know, zoning with a teleport.
It's zoning. Yeah, okay, you want to sit back and zone and teleport? All right, cool. I'll sit back and zone. I don't know if he has teleport equipped. I did see the tornado, and I did see the ground pound. Or, I'm sorry, the earthquake there. Regular boulders throwing up. Very risky stuff, as, you know, you can punish Cetrion for, you know, just straight boulder at most ranges. But, you know, a lot of the times you're looking for the amplified portion, or, you know, she's going to not amplify it. Rolling over to the other side, but Scarlet does not commit big time to it. Cetrion left, leaving her opponent in a standing position. No access to wake-ups at all. Flawless block up 3. This could be the momentum shift that she wants. Back throw, is she going to back off? No, she's going in hard with those jumping kicks, but didn't see that rising boulder coming at her, just completely stopping any kind of offense, any kind of attempt to try to take that victory here. And now H-Dope 1 game away by switching over to Cetrion, you know, just kind of stopping Scarlet and everything that she wants to do, you know, throwing up the zoning, you know, like you said, Mr. Aquaman. You know, you're zoning, but I think I can zone better.
Yeah, exactly. And be a little bit more active, put quicker, more active frames on the screen, and in a lot more places than Scarlet can, you know, with the boulders, Hell's Wraths. Although you did see a lot of Hell's Wraths, it was more ground pound, probably worried about the teleport a lot in that situation. And so that's just smart adaptation by H-Dope at the end of the day to make that pick with very specific reasons and able to execute that game plan is good Mortal Kombat, and it's good competitive Mortal Kombat. Blood Eyes making the switch back to Rain here, which I like. On paper, that looked a little rough. He wasn't able to get a lot going. He was about to have to bet really big at the end of that game, and he's already been betting it really big all set long. After that jump kick, could have gone for some craziness because Fatal Blow was a threat in that instance, but Dope's defense really good in that situation and good recognition of where he blocked the jump kick, all these things that were on the back of his mind, and didn't blow it there with Fatal Blow active, and that rock finds its mark on the tiptoe of Rain, trying to close the gap.
Oh, just swinging back and forth here. Cetrion's got one of the best stand ones in this game. So good, so active, so fast. Crazy good anti-air. Trying to throw the boulder. Speaking of anti-airs, if that did connect, that would have been a huge crushing blow. Look at that anti-air, man. I mean, it just hits so flawlessly. As soon as, even with a character like Rain, when the character like Rain has a great jump in, oh man, these guys are looking for throw, down two crushing blows all over the place. Rain ending the combo here, the juggle, trying to stay right next to Cetrion, but Cetrion's not having any of it. She's just backdashing, staying away, because Rain is just trying to throw everything, including himself.
Goodness. What a read right there. That's a big read for this particular matchup. It's a back-to-back robbery. Insanity from Blood Eyes. You had him make the absolute mad lad read of full screen Argus punch, and it's specifically to read the slower startups of the projectiles full screen of Cetrion, and it was against the only one that could have worked against Rain in that situation, but timed perfectly. And then you got the Fatal Blow, which isn't that bad of an idea the way he did it, Arma. If you backdash into it and you kind of max distance it, it becomes incredibly good on block.
And there we see that same challenge again, because Cetrion's boulder, although it's a really, really good boulder with great pushback and a lot of chip, she has a really hard, a very slow time to, you know, pick up the boulder and throw it down in front of her. So if you've got a move that can advance you forward like that, you can really challenge it and really keep her in check. Of course, very risky stuff there. Look at the spacing.
You gotta... How it feels to do full screen Argus plunge with Rain is just betting it on the line, and you just yeet.
Yeah.
And pray to the elder gods. Pray to your father that it works.
Yeah, you can, you know, a lot of moves are like that, like Kano's Kano Ball. Very, very unsafe on block. But again, it's kind of like the threat of that move is what does it. Big time teleport going into the big time crushing blow. Standing position, Rain is in. Thought a throw was coming, but here comes mid. Thought the throw again, and this time does cash in. Big time here. Gonna try to push her as far away as possible, but this time trying to go in as much as possible.
Ooh, the call out. That was one of the first hydroplanes he did on block, and the call out immediately, and Blood Eyes not even ready for the up two. That was godlike afterwards, and the interruption by H-Dope. Immediate read, immediate swing right there, and that is another what it comes down to in this match. And as he takes it 3-1, it came down to a very hard read right there of just making a read on the tendency of your opponent. Blood Eyes used it against Dope a couple of times, but look at right here at the end as Dope's able to take it, makes a really big read of his own, reads the stagger, swings with 1-1, gets an excellent hit confirm, and that's going to be it. 3-1, GG's, game blouses.
Yeah, man, that hit confirm.
A little bit of a pun because the flowers. No, okay, I'm good. Never mind.
I see it. I see it.
No, you know what? Let's just move on here. It's too early for a pun. You're right.
I mean, it's not too early in the EU, which is where, you know, these guys are based out of. This is more of, you know, your regular streaming hours, your regular trying to get in there, trying to grind it out. So it's early for us. We're over here in the US. Time zones are a little different. But yeah, man, I mean, it's that Cetrion pick, I think, was just, it was, I don't know, man. I understand what H-Dope is trying to do with Shiva, but I could just see it clicking so much easier with Cetrion. And, you know, that's not to upplay the character or anything like that. It just seems like he's very, very comfortable with that. And I don't know how a player like that jumps from a character like Cetrion over to someone like Shiva, especially in a specific build where Shiva is a little bit more aggressive. Like, you know what I mean? She's very, you know, she's got the dragon stance and she's got the fireballs, but I feel like for the most part, he's not super zone orientated when it comes to Shiva. He loves using that shield bash, which is a very, very offensive move. And, you know, I find it very admirable that he can kind of play two completely different styles, you know, like some players, they play two different characters, but usually it's like, you know, both characters have a command grab, or both characters are very aggressive, or both characters are very zone heavy. So, you know, hats off to him, man. That was really, really good play for two very diversely different characters. So
Yeah, and
I'm really glad
really
we're going to be
good,
seeing more of him.
and really good to have in a position like this, have a backup character like that can cover potential weaknesses of your main character that you might pick out of the gate for no other reason than the fact that might be his favorite character to play right now, and that might be his favorite variation, and it matches his play style the most. But guess what? When the back is against the wall, money's on the line. He's like, wait a minute. Let me break out Mama Cetron, who is looking pretty good across the board and can put in that work. And we see that from a lot of competitors right now. That's why we see a lot of Jackies. That's why we see a lot of Cetrons, guys, is because at the end of the day, these guys are trying to win by any means necessary. And they are incredibly strong right now at the top. And but what I like is that we saw a couple of different variations and a couple of different uses of some of these other characters, and another one here. And a really big surprise from that first round was Magic T with this spawn. Unfortunately, even though it was incredibly winnable for Magic T, I felt like in that first round match that we saw against K-Top, he's going to get a little bit of a run back in a sense of characters, at least, as he has to fight upgraded Jackie once more from the vet over here, Nivik. We'll see what Magic T is able to do, who's trying to hype things up with some different spawnage as well. That soul forfeit can cause utter desolation of health bars if used properly, and I can't wait to see him fully pop off. He almost got a full one earlier. He almost got the triple when he dropped it. I saw him. We'll see if he can get crazy here.
Oh, he's definitely going to get crazy, but it really is going to require Nivik to take him to that level, and I think he can, especially with this Jackie play. Nivik's been on top of it. Good breakaway there to just avoid as much damage as possible. Jackie gets the jump in, but Nivik was just kind of unsure of, that specific, call out. Didn't really think it was going to be successful here. Swinging over and over again here, the auto shimmy from Jackie, as Magic T was probably looking for some kind of throw. Stand 3 staggers, and Jackie just still blocking, waiting for the opportunity. Challenges there with the mid. Not sure if Magic T was trying to duck under something, or maybe he was trying to touch a button of his own. I don't know if that's a confirm or a buffer there. You throw out stand 3, and if she comes into that space, it only means if she got hit by it, and you buffer in that launcher from spawn. He's only needing to hit one more time here on Jackie, but Jackie does have fatal blow, so this is very, very scary. Gets the back throw. Again, is willing to take it there because he knows it doesn't mean death quite yet. Trying to stay as composed as possible. Jackie over to the side and just doing.
First off,
why?
A couple of things. I've never seen a down 2 punished on block. I don't think I've ever in my life seen a down 2 punished on block. Let alone from X211. Oh my goodness, that was incredibly rare. But what defense there by Magic T. He was one hit, I would say 70 times in a row, give or take, in how long he blocked right there from death, and he eats one to the dome there anyway. So stand 3 gets an anti-air, and that's been a big key to his success so far. This is going to be about an even fit for Jackie. Oh, it wasn't close enough. That was getting serious as well.
Yeah, that was going to be a big crushing blow.
And Spawn in general, so beautiful Arma, is that when you talk about damage dealers, not a lot of people mention Spawn when he might be number freaking 1. Not this round, but overall, this character can just... he can...
Hey, look.
He just wakes up in the morning. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
So again, when Spawn's eyes glow green like that, that means he can access crushing blows without having to fulfill the crushing blow requirement.
Get out of there. Listen, this is Jackie, but you might want to get out of there. He's like Herbie right now. He's fully loaded.
Mid-4 gaze coming out of Jackie. Hold on a second. It's okay. It's happening. I mean, this is a very serious situation here. Back throw coming out of Nivik, and Nivik still going in. But you got to watch out. Those glowing eyes. Those glowing eyes could be your death. Here it starts. Get a crushing blow here. Big jump in. Is he going to put her in a... No. All unbreakable here.
Oh, here we
down
go.
2 at the end. He decides to hold it. Doesn't want to deal with it. Says, I will wait for the next opportunity. Are we going to see a fatal blow? No. Maybe here at the end, yes.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of damage. Right back to you.
I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Very close.
Ooh, point 13. Oh, no. With the dot damage, that Ship Yoshi roll could go for the block right there. Bets it all, and not like this. Jacqueline Faye breaks. Answering back This has been, you know,
I love seeing this spawn, man. I love seeing this spawn. It's so hype.
For how small of a character Jackie is, we're looking at two heavyweights in Mortal Kombat 11, and they are throwing not just like haymakers, but they're throwing like body blows at each other. 40% combos back and forth, and it's explosive.
Yeah, man. I mean, these. I would say maybe Spawn's not as much. Definitely a heavy hitter in terms of like what his damage output can be, but you know, this is just such a great treat to see this character, and especially to see this variation being utilized, because you know you're giving up that bar for the rest of the game, but it is, you know, you do it in a round 3 situation, especially if you haven't used any crushing blows yet. Like the combo potential is out of this world. The combo potential is insane, and you know you can even see when he took half her health, like he did not give her an opportunity to break, except for the very end of the combo, which at that point he's like, no, I want you to break. I want you to break so you don't have the bar.
Yeah, and that mind game, that one little read by Nivik to not break away is probably what saved him right there.
Yeah.
That one
close. Definitely very, very close. Look at that way that Nivik just kind of walks back and just trying to make Spawn whiff, punishing accordingly here. I mean, that's someone who's, you know, very patient and very confident about dealing with jump-ins. And that's what I really love seeing from Nivik, whether he's, you know, taking a more passive approach and just walking back, or whether he's going to challenge a straight air-to-air. Nivik is so good at having that air-to-air mind concept.
You're looking right there, Nivik with a nice wake-up back one. Timed perfectly on the delay to get that first part to whiff, and you get a nice side switch to Nivik with pressure in the corner. Big whiff by Magic T, and this is falling apart. The big whiffs by Spawn. You guys were talking about it earlier. One of the biggest weaknesses, and kind of rightfully so, there's a couple of archetypes like this where they put out a lot of big, beefy, advancing strings, and one weakness is, you know, that they have a lot of recovery. So these very mobile characters cause really big weaknesses for characters like Spawn that some other characters simply can't do because of it.
Yeah, you got to think twice about swinging with Spawn, you know, when you have a character so quick and so agile like Jackie. And look at her just going all around the screen, trying to do as much damage as possible. The throw attack here from Magic T, super duper clutch in this scenario, because right now you don't want to go down 2-0 against Nivik. You don't want to go down 2-0 against Jackie. Is he going to tap in and forfeit that soul, or is he just going to try to win this the old-fashioned way? Save that for round number 3, if we even get there, as Nivik can give him the opportunity to even try stand 3 staggers successfully twice in a row.
What a normal. We could talk. We could probably give a seminar on just stand 3 alone from Spawn and how disgusting it is. But let's see if Magic T can close this out. 116 left on the board. We're gonna throw close things out. That's a lot of chip damage. Almost half of the life left, and a beautiful reactionary down 2. That extended her box with the cape. Woo! Going up to the moon and back, baby. Interrupting with stand 3, but no commitment, and there it is. He even got the put it up, and oh my goodness, the slam. And welcome to the jam. He could let that
he found the forward throw. He found the forward throw. This hurts.
Pretty close.
He's got no breakaway. He's got no breakaway, but he also doesn't have access to, oh my god. The damage. This is insane. 50%. 50%. And on a character like Jackie, it just really, really hurts.
The moment that it's once you pop, the fun don't stop with that thing. That's how I'll put it.
I mean, it also has like no recovery either. Like he did it right in front of Nivik, and I feel like Nivik was almost like expecting it, and he was still able to block and then, you know, back up with punish for the stand 3. It is a very, very good move. Like, I'm surprised I don't see more Spawn, especially considering that it's a I believe it's a 1-slot variation, or 1-slot, you know, equipable move.
Yeah.
Because the launcher is a 2-slot one. So, you know, I'm surprised I'm not seeing this in other Spawn buildouts. I mean, you're talking about a comeback factor. You're talking about a game 3 closing situation scenario. I mean, you make it for yourself. Easy crushing blows, down 2s, you know, at the end of juggles, forward throws anywhere on the screen. I mean, those are 2 easy things that are very, very easy to equip.
in terms of the beta for Spawn alone, you remember when characters could multiple KB off of a single punish?
Yeah.
Oh
right.
my goodness! But that just goes to show you what this character is all about. It is unique in that he might be the one character with that equipped that you almost have to 2-0. Because they are going to be holding that until that scenario where it becomes Armageddon. You know, it's like a doomsday device.
Yeah, and it's very scary going into that, round 3 situation. But you're kind of stacking the chips in your favor, as long as you get there. But you're coming off a lot of resources.
Yeah, you're gonna be very more reserved in that regard until that moment. Oh, and some of these threes, if he commits off them, could get some major damage. But every time he's found the hit, he's always had breakaway, and his opponents have always had breakaway. Those clean second hits have been what's been troublesome for Magic T early.
Yeah, it's definitely tough to get it. I understand. He didn't have the bar to amplify it. That is very heartbreaking there.
Could have figured for with a fail right there. That's a big one. You're gonna let Jackie breathe. And Nivik made the comeback happen. Big gets the jumping 1-1. No conversion. Infinite throw and gets thrown himself. Nivik taking that one from the grave a couple of times. I felt like.
Whew, that was definitely that was a clutch situation here. And Nivik did come out on top. I don't know if Magic T thought he had the bar, and that's why he didn't go for the fatal blow hit confirm. Whoa! Well, tries the up 2, and somehow it kind of whiffed. That was a very weird exchange here. Nivik now in a prime corner positioning here, trying to just push Magic T as far back into the corner as possible. Magic T trying to bully his way out. Here comes the mids. Oh, I'm sorry, the lows, thinking that the throw attempt was coming here. Nivik probably just neutral ducking.
And this is, for Nivik, it's, on the back of our minds, the spectators, he's going to be able to do it. Right there was do or die for him. It's what I was about to mention. If he let Magic T take that round, he goes into round 3 with so worth it. And this is the downside of that playstyle. This is the downside of that decision, is that you are more reserved. You do put an added pressure on your opponents to finish you off quickly, which is a savage thing to say, but it's exactly the mentality that you need against a character like this. And if there's a character and player to be able to pull that off, it's definitely someone like Nivik, who's very aggressive in the first place and wants that no matter what character is going to be on the screen. And so he's definitely up for the challenge of doing this and doing this quick.
Yeah, and it's very disheartening, as Spawn or as Magic T in this scenario, because you go through matches, you go through scenarios where you're equipping a move that you didn't even get to use. Like, he did not get to use that move at all in that last game. So that's taking up a spot, that's taking up a resource that you could use to fill up with a different tool. Whether it's like the command grab or something else that he can equip in this scenario. But you have to realize that even though it was a 2-0 victory there in terms of rounds, that it was a lot closer than it seemed. It was a lot closer than it seems. He just didn't get past the hump. There's like that round 2 hump, which is very, very tough to do. You just got to get past it. And then once you get into that final round, it's going to be a little bit of an easier scenario. So Magic T should not be disheartened in this scenario.
Yeah, and the name of the game for him is to try to get one of these first rounds. I feel like that's been the number one thing holding him back, is getting the first round on the board and putting that pressure on early versus always having to play from behind.
Yeah.
Always having to rely on a comeback. That's, it's good for your heart rate increase, I guess, but then it's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, and he has done it right here as we live and breathe, as we speak it into existence. Takes that round convincingly, and now he can pop and go off if he wants to.
Oh, beautiful down 1 anti-air. Just a little bit of a conversion here in the corner. Trying to back off, and there it is. Finds the hit. Not going to amplify because he's going to hold onto it or, on block, as you see in this scenario, to put himself, not in too much danger here. He's just stopping everything.
At that
he
range, Max, he said no danger. He said no danger.
No.
You can't hit him.
Not. Those chains do not count as a part of the spawn in terms of, actually making contact and hurting him. He's just going to extend the hitbox and not the hurtbox. But Nivik, I mean, making this huge comeback here, able to connect big time, but hold on, he still has Fatal Blow. Both players have Fatal Blow now, rolling away, trying to just get away, and wait, what?
No.
Range!
Oh, no.
Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking here for Magic T. I thought it was done. I thought it was over here. I thought we were in game number 5, and he just hits it again. Wait a minute. No, he didn't convert it to full damage.
Oh,
Nivik
no.
leaving damage on the table.
No, no!
Oh.
In any way but this. In any other way. Oh, I can't even talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
He's gonna pop it. He's gonna pop this soul forfeit. He's gonna get those easy crushing blows that he hasn't used at all so far in this game. There it is. Popped it. Eyes are glowing green. Here comes the danger as Jackie just decides to leap into it. That's going to be a crushing blow here. Easy damage, no problem. Down 2 does get the breakaway, so not able to trigger that crushing blow. And that was definitely a do or die situation here from Nivik. Had to come off those 2 bars, had to come off those resources. Swings, but doesn't go for the full thing, doesn't go for the full effect, the full combo. So right now, leaving some damage on the table, trying to down 1 anti-air, but nobody's home. Jackie just squiggling her away from it. Down 2 crushing blow.
That will be all she wrote, but that was still absolutely frightening. For Nivik, in round number 2, for Magic T, I like what he did in round number 2 early on, where he was even in our minds a little bit, where I was like, all right, pop it, baby, pop it. You have the first round, you get a hit, you immediately go into it, and then the pressure and the threat is on. But he actually kind of took a step back and was just like as if he thought that that's exactly what Nivik was thinking too. And so Nivik, automatically assuming that he's going to be trying to pop a soul forfeit by any means necessary, is going to read that he's going to get really aggressive. And so what Magic T did was went back to a little more reserved pressure, and stand 3 pressure happened to be in the corner, which is the exact spot to do this. But didn't want to let Nivik breathe even then, which I thought was really smart. Unfortunately, almost gave away the entire round off of a couple of miscalculations and spacings, but able to close things out still with the soul forfeit, because you saw that health leads don't matter, nothing matters when it's active. He can just obliterate you off the screen.
It was fast, man. It was very, very fast, and because of the damage potential when that soul is forfeited, when that 1 bar of offensive meter is completely forfeited for the rest. It's very you're so willing to come off that breakaway a lot faster, because he's going to give you very little opportunities to do so, which is why you saw Nivik going for it. But when you lose that resource, you lose a lot. You can't roll, you can't wake up attack, and your movement and your decision making becomes a little bit more restricted, a little bit easier to predict.
Enter our first. Is this our first game 5 of the top 8 so far?
I believe so, man. Definitely got me excited. Going for a regular forward throw. Yeah, man, they're trying to keep that corner positioning here. But this is one of the few stages where you have pretty good escape interactables on both sides. So corner not going to mean as much in this stage versus all the other ones. Again, Mortal Kombat very unique in that way that the stages all matter. The stages are definitely not the same. Nothing the same here. I mean, you have interactables that hit overhead, low, you can move around, use invincibility frames. So you really got to pay attention. Swings does get the hit, but I guess just preemptively going for a stagger.
Patience by Magic there. Only at the 13%. Jack can go for the side switch. Speedy to it. Dot damage really good for Magic. Not to panic. Oh, this is scary. Scramble situation. Both are swinging. Just safe.
10 seconds left on this clock.
Oh, someone's gonna have to get risky. There's dot damage coming down. Okay, it is enough for the kill. That got me a little bit worried. That dot damage can scare me when you're at about that range, because that stuff can add up quick. But now we got a match point now for Magic T. And here's the exact same position that he was in last game. Darth Arma, is he gonna pop this early or save it for a round 3 only?
I feel like it's usually a round 3 specific thing, especially if he's got like a little bit of a life deficit here. I don't think he's going to come off that resource. It's way too precious here. Oh my god, Nivik just all offense here. Throw, escape. Yes, gonna buy some time. Gonna wait for that slowly rebuilding defensive bar to come back. Hitting that stand. Nivik just trying to back away, not trying to block anything here. Magic T starts swinging, but unfortunately in the recovery ends up getting punished thanks to that roll away from Nivik. Game 5, final round situation here. Everything on the line here. Both players on the brink of elimination.
And there it is, baby. Only one offensive bar for the rest of this game, but all you need is the one hit. Well, now that he doesn't have breakaway, you only need the one hit. With a 950 character, let's see if he can pop off. If he can land a hit, for Nivik, it's just going to be a tale of survival right now. Needs to get the hits himself, cannot let this character even breathe. And just like that, one wrong decision, even though you've got the breakaway right now, look how much unbreakawayable damage is about to come. It's about 400 guaranteed. Exactly 400 guaranteed.
Oh, it hurts. Oh, man, does
And he
that
still
hurt.
has 14 of them ready for you.
Yeah, he's still got more crushing blows if he needs it. I mean, Nivik is literally one throw away from dying or a regular hit away from dying, but he's making this comeback down.
400 damage was guaranteed.
He's dead, he's dead.
We're not finished.
Oh
KB,
my
no
God.
KB. Sniped out of the air, and Magic T has done it. Avenges his first round loss on the winner's side to this character and gets the soul forfeit going in these final rounds. We got the friendship hellish desires. And Magic T gonna take this in an explosive display of this game. 400 damage combos minimum, I felt like there. It was a beautiful sight.
It's really, I mean, the routes that you can take to get all that damage is just insane. I mean, it can come from a throw, it can come from a regular hit, it can come from, you know, a lot of times you see, you know, in this game when you anti-air someone, especially a character like Jackie, it's hard to convert into some really good damage. But if that soul is forfeited with soul forfeit, giving him access to those easy crushing blows could mean that he can really, really do damage when he hits that down one or stand one anti-air on a character like Jackie. And it's just so scary. It really makes you second guess your offense. And I guess that's a little bit of what I saw there from Nivik, where he wasn't as, you know, in those round number 3s, he wasn't as willing to jump in. He wasn't as willing to go crazy and just do the Jackie thing because he's like, oh, I could die. And literally one decision could mean I'm going to die.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it's like the perfect thing to say. He didn't leap in because of the implication. If he gets hit one time incorrectly, he dies, and that's what the implication is. Yeah. But you also see that it complements Spawn's offense so well because those KBs are off of almost everything that he's going to use anyway, and the pressure that's already so strong about the character. The 1-1s, the 1-1-2 has the crushing blow. The throws, strike throw off of that. You've also got the low starter that leads up into the crushing blow, and so all of that just complements it so well, I feel like. And guys, as a quick shout out, thank you to Astro Gaming here for being the official audio partner of the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition. All of our audio is powered by Astro for the entirety of the season. Go visit astrogaming.com to find out more information on all of their officially licensed PlayStation audio products available now.
Yeah, a lot of good things over there at Astro. So, guys, looking to upgrade your setup, definitely hit them up. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see how the rest of this goes, especially I'm going to feel a little biased here because I do watch Magic T. Magic T streams all the time.
All the time.
He's a very, very entertaining person to watch. And this Spawn is just explosive. Yeah, big shout outs to Magic T. I think he's actually streaming right now. So Magic T, you are absolutely killing it here. You're doing such a good job. But this Spawn is just so interesting. Like I love seeing things that are a little bit unique. You know, we even saw that at all these different tournaments. Like when Shiva made that debut, the Dragon Stance coming out, and everyone was just like, "Why is no one using this yet?" And you know, I feel like this top 8 could be that stage, could be that scenario where people are like, "I think this needs to get revisited," because I feel like Spawn has been. A lot of people were hyped for Spawn, of course, because Spawn is Spawn, but everyone felt like his tournament variations were a little lacking. You know, command grab being a true high that you can, you know, duck under. But I think with this variation, or with custom variations, I think this character has a lot of potential. But we're gonna move on. We have Shang Tsung versus Jackie. Now, these players we saw a little earlier in today's broadcast. We have So I believe this is the winners finals here for
yes,
for our bracket today. Yes, K-Top versus Disarded. Amazing Shang-Tsung player, probably one of the best Shangs. Very zone-heavy mindset. You know, willing to just kind of stay back and wait it out. But let's see how Jackie gets around some of these obstacles, some of these projectiles here.
Yeah, he has been rocking that open series, if you guys have watched week in and week out, and now it's kind of bleeding over here into the pro competition and on a more global scale as we start to get more and more familiar with the name Disarded, that's for sure. And with this character, he's got that duplicitous edge as well, where he uses the shapeshifter Shang, and he's got an up-close and personal aspect of his gameplay as well. Loves coming with those jump kicks and then abusing the mix-ups off of back one, the staggers off 1-1, and the kind of natural, you know, good frame data that Shang Tsung has with a lot of gapless pressure too. So smart.
I love it.
He's gonna get a absolute rock of a single hit. God. And this should be death.
Yeah, this isn't gonna scale too much here. Definitely dead before the Sweet Chin music. And unfortunately for Disarded, did a good job of keeping Jackie away, but Jackie got that jump in, I think, twice, and able to decimate his life bar here. But she's not gonna have that fatal blow going into the next 2 rounds, potential next 2 rounds. Beautiful flawless block up 2, very familiar with the gaps. Didn't get the meaty thanks to that delay wake up coming out of K-Top. Goes for the ring kick. That is very unsafe, but not, by very I mean like it's definitely unsafe, but not, you know, if you're not ready to punish, not ready to swing right away, you're gonna let it go.
I also did not know if that was punishable or not, believe it or not, and I would have guessed it was safe because the last roundhouse like that was safe in NRSG.
I definitely want to say it's punishable. I could have been wrong on that one, but I want to say usually things that lead into a lot of combo potential like that, usually whether it's amplified or not amplified. And Disarded gets the nice little stagger there, or I'm sorry, the auto shimmy there coming out of Shang Tsung. Looks like K-Top might have thought a throw was coming, or a throw attempt. Beautiful OS with that jump kick.
We saw him wake up with a stand 3-2, which tells me that he may have been trying to wake up with a flawless block, which would not surprise me given his skill and the fact that he's done it multiple times before. Like, he would, with those surprise flawless blocks, he even started the round with it last time, and there's the corp drop, and even combo. That was some disgusting damage. And this is not full shapeshifter. He likes to bring kind of what he likes. So he brings the corpse drop, he brings the lift, and he's got the roundhouse for optimal kind of damage here. Ah, beautiful stuff there. That's if I remember correctly. I believe that he picks and chooses which of the ninja abilities he wants to use rather than have them all, because he likes having the ability to have everything else that Shang has. And that's why you see the corpse drop come into play, you see the lift coming into play, and they're for very specific reasons. He's always looking for max damage. The slide gives him the mix-up off of the back one, which turns to a 50-50, which can open up a crushing blow launcher. And so this is the Shang this is that Russian Shang, Arma, that I feel like you have to say Russian Shang because they came in with this style and really showed us what it was all about. Back at NEC, when On Kratos came over, and we were like, what is happening? And why is everyone dying? And that is the style of Shang Tsung that is perfected over there, and these guys are just playing a different game, it feels like sometimes.
Yeah, I remember the level. Shang, that Shang taking it, I believe the biggest upset of that weekend was when Arn Kratos knocked Sonic Fox into the lower bracket, and you know, everyone was just taken by surprise. That's a huge, victory in that sense.
And of course, they have a lot of matchup knowledge against Jackie, as that is who they run into most of the time in these European brackets, that's for sure. A lot of knowledge among the higher tier characters, but even then, you see these guys go back and forth. Definitely winnable here for K-Top. Disarded, I think, coming in, if you were to, on paper talk about who the favorite might be coming into this, Disarded definitely, I think, has the edge, given the multiple wins he's had recently in these tournaments against these very same players. Slide, beautiful side switch, and the jump 2 from Shang. That thing is an enigma. if you fought in the Shengen, had to deal with his jump in mind games, just like he's using here.
Yeah, you end up respecting the jump kick so much because he's, it's so active and
It's so good.
It's so good. It's definitely one of the best jump kicks in the game. And then once he knows that you're respecting that, then he goes for the tricky, jump 2 so he can continue his turn, not just give it up after you block the jumping attempt. It's definitely not something that you come out the gate with, but something you have to condition your opponent into doing. Swinging out there, but unfortunately drops out of there, giving him a ability to kind of punish there on his wake up. Goes for the empty jump low here. Love the empty jump low.
You saw the roundhouse canceling pressure. Looking really old school out here. And it's just an added element to... Oh, that was dirty from Paytop, who did that nice and low to the ground and was able to get that jumping to come before the stand 1 attempt, it looked like, from the start. Try to anti-air him. In a bad spot here, back to the wall. He swings out of there with 1-1.
Hey, why not? Swinging out there, swinging for the fences, and he just did it! The roundhouse kick! Able to
He waited a little bit. He waited a little bit to get him the press. That was beautiful.
Oh, so good. So good. Disheartened, looking incredible here. Jackie saying, no, I'm teching this throw. Get off of me this time. Gets the escape failed because he went with the less obvious out of the corner throw here. And gonna continue to throw. 3-point conversion. It's good. It's totally good. And Disheartened making a statement there with that brutality.
Can I get the camera on me, producer? If you can hear me. Let's see. This is a big test. It's good.
It almost looked like that he was doing that in the beginning, but then it turns into the rainbow arc.
Yep.
To the friendship arc.
3 points, baby.
Easy 3 points. No problem.
If it was any later in the evening, I could probably get a nice goal out, but I really don't want to wake up my neighbors right now.
Was the 3-point conversion there an inappropriate reference? Because we are in the EU and we just reference
that is true.
A sport that they don't play, a sport that they actually probably hate. And they're like, what are you talking about? What is this reference?
With good reason. I mean, y'all got it.
American football. If anyone's in the EU and you're like, what are you talking about? It's American football. Field goal, 3 points. There it is. Oh, we're seeing some Terminator.
He scored 1 point. He scored 1 point. There we go.
Or 1 point at the end of the after the touchdown. So we're seeing some Terminator. This is a character that's been, slightly, I think slightly buffed with, yes, the teleport there. Teleport definitely going to be one of those must-have abilities because it gives Terminator so much mobility. Now, normally before custom variations were a thing, Terminator was seen as one of the most immobile characters, but he's just a straight-up mixed machine. On top of, being a literal machine, he just mixes you with lows, overheads, mid-command grabs, regular command grabs that hit his eyes, that he can place you anywhere else. You get a fatal blow to make sure that this is going to do enough damage. This is going to scale, but it should be enough.
That's death.
Here comes the next thing. Oh.
That doesn't look like it feels good.
It's okay, he didn't feel anything. He's a machine. He didn't feel anything. He's good. I love how they still react. Oh, there it goes. Mid-command grab thanks to the running man.
That's to make us feel better. Arma.
That's true. That's true.
That's the humanize them.
Ermac conversion here down to at the end to, cash in big. The teleport not super fast. Like, it's definitely not like a Cetrion or a Scarlet teleport, but again, it's more about mobility. Like, you can get in there. Oh, I love the ground pound there. I feel like this Terminator has a lot of it. I mean, at his core, he's, with Running Man, he's got the mix machine aspect. Teleport, he's got mobility. And, the ground pound, he's got some zoning. So I love this loadout. And I don't think anyone should ever downplay Terminator ever again. No, not yet. Big jumping kick, though. I don't know what he was doing, but the last thing he was doing was blocking.
That run grab has a KB on it, but he has to run a certain distance. So it's one of those things where if you respect it too much, he can burn you, and if you disrespect it too much, he can burn you. It becomes some cool mix-up opportunities. This is a big pickup for this artist. More importantly, having this corner position, and that was a disgusting read. Hard read, paying off for him there with the wake up down two. Knowing that he wants to get that early jump kick out, but it's trying to meet him with active frame. So smart.
Disheartened is like looking hard for, you know, the running man grab again. Love the conversion. 1-2-1. Hits him with the overhead and able to go right into the ground pound.
Okay.
I love this.
Okay.
I don't think anyone out there can downplay Terminator ever again.
Yeah. This is... I'm sorry, not Dark Fate. This is a mixture of Dark Fate, Destroyer, and having the teleport. The low pound... which comes from the Dark Fate variation, or sorry, from the Destroyer variation, makes his mix-ups even more mix-ups. It gives him more mix. So you...
More mix.
This is why this is why we call him a mix machine.
He's definitely a mix machine. And
but that was dirty right there. And that isn't a mix-up that comes naturally, even with Dark Fate. Quick overhead low doesn't exist. If you read the overhead, you have more times than not, if you're right on blocking the overhead, you just let go of blocking, you hold down, and then you have a nice day. Not in this variation. So I do like what he brought to the table, and it worked, and what a turnaround to go to Terminator and save yourself against Shang Tsung. Oh yeah.
A little bit different here for
round one.
The starter
we're seeing
Shake. Yes.
Yeah, we're seeing Shake probably to deal with the low ground pound, which, you know, kind of acts like a projectile. But I guess it also gets through
any projectile. There we go. Yeah.
That's right. Regular gunshot, the shotgun coming at it here. So I think we're going to be seeing some more teleporting coming out of K-Top, because, you know, he doesn't want to, you know, just throw out the guns willy-nilly. Forcing the breakaway kind of all over it. Now this time doesn't go for the running man grab. Whoa, the spacing there. Very dangerous stuff, but does find himself successful here. Oh, air to airs from Shang, able to convert. Forcing that breakaway. Trying it down too, but it just wasn't home. Is it? Is he dead? Oh god, he's so close. Wakes up with down one? Are you serious? Running man grab. He better not. If he went for low, that would have been it.
I actually would have gotten hit. Because I read low. It was the conditioning, counter conditioning of it all, where he had done overhead the entire match, looking to see if he was going to fade that out with it. But that was no. It hurts.
Oh, it does hurt big time. And that's the thing with the running man grab. You know, it is a mid-command grab, and we all know how broken those are, but it has a lot of recovery on whiff. So you can literally do your biggest combo on him. Down one on wake up again, spelling success here for Terminator. This time, Disheartened, willing to take that command grab. Willing to take this regular forward throw here. Oh, doesn't commit to the whole thing. That could have been really bad. Tries to go for it again. Disheartened
that's gonna be all she wrote.
Disheartened just refused to block low. Like, just said, like, and with good reason. Honestly, with good reason, because very rarely did K-Top go for the low option. I mean, most of the time we were seeing overhead and command grab. And, you know, I don't think that he implemented that enough for him to be scared to go for the low. I mean, but if there was ever a time to just go for the low, just one time, was at either one of those round one or round two enders in that final game, could have been a completely different outcome. So
and those
everybody can go back to downplaying Terminator. He's not good at all, and he definitely needs buff.
Never mind.
So,
we take back everything that we said in the chat right there, by the way. But it came down to him throwing let's say rock. He threw rock 3 times, and then in a final decision threw rock again. That's exactly what happened every single time. Was that he was like, you know what? There's the threat of scissors. I haven't thrown it all game long, and I'm still gonna rock. And then he papered and lost. And then you walk away.
Good old rock. Nothing beats rock. A great Simpsons reference there for you guys. But I want to give a big shout out to PlayStation 4. PS4 tournaments are happening all the time. Mortal Kombat Pro Competition is presented by PS4 Tournaments, so check out the PS4 Tournament Open Series. If you guys go to the Competition Center, which is the one destination that has all Mortal Kombat content that gives you an inside look at how top players play, and you can check out tips and tricks for players of all skill levels. All you guys got to do is go to compete.playstation.com, sign in with your PSN ID, and it's that simple. You get to see all the different games that have, again, weekly competitions, not just Mortal Kombat, not just fighting games, a lot of different genres. So a lot of great content for you guys to check out there. Head on over, sign up for tournaments, have fun, and that's really what it's all about, because you're going to be at home playing these games anyway, so you might as well have fun doing it. You know, meet some friends, level up your game, get good, and you know, that's what we all love to do. We all love to just get good at these games. Man, what a Terminator pick. I hope we see a little bit more, because that was winners finals. So K-Top is going over to the losers finals, where we will see him play the winner of this lower bracket here. Is it this one? Are we in loser semis?
I believe so. It's gonna be Magic T going up against H-Dope. Now, if H-Dope wins this, I believe is the brother of K-Top, and they will have to fight in losers finals if he gets the victory here. Can I just say something? I need to say this at a professional level. That having a brother that plays with you is broken.
Unfair.
It is an unfair advantage in competitive combat. Look across the globe and prove me wrong. I want you to look across planet Earth at every Mortal Kombat community and watch some twin brothers rocking everyone's stuff. Doesn't matter the region. It doesn't matter.
I definitely agree. I mean, imagine having access to, like, not even just like exploring matchups, but also just like, hey, do you want to play? Because like, and you get to play in like an offline setting for, you know, most of these situations or most of these cases. You also have someone who's just obviously going to be your number one supporter, because as, you know, your brother, that they want to see you succeed, because it's kind of like your success is their success. You know, it's a little bit of an extension of, you know, your glory, your legacy, your legend. You know, just going out to the rest of the world. So yeah, you have shout outs to all the brothers that love to play these games together.
There's so many. There's so many. It's ridiculous. We got Magic T kind of picking up where he left off here. And in what is on paper probably Spawn's most troubling matchup. I think H-Dope came out of the gate with a wonderful pick here. Just the on paper annoyance for Spawn, you know, the low ground pound going underneath the projectile, etc., etc., etc. Insert the things that make Cetron good that you guys have heard 1,000 times in a row by now. But we'll see if Magic T's big bet of all the damage on planet Earth and all the damage right now is going to work.
I don't know. Let's see. This is Cetrion. Cetron's really good. That backdash, literally like no one else is, and that's going to be a very rare crushing blow. The requirement for that one is actually for it to heat a projectile, and if you amplify it, that's going to be the rocks right to the skull. But now, I think the ball is in Magic T's court. He hasn't popped Soul Forfeit yet. This is a final round situation. A lot of crushing blows still on the table. And there it is. He's going to pop it, and he is definitely willing to take that punish. Absolutely no question about that.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, what's 100 damage versus like 550 to 600?
Exactly. It was literally nothing
per touch.
Oh my god. I don't know how he's still pressing buttons. I'd be so scared. Doesn't go into the string.
Oh no.
He thought that she was going to break away. He's fishing for the breakaway, and there it is. Now if he gets hit, he's going to die. Forward throw, one hit, he is going to die. This is so scary, but Magic T has to get in first. He has to get in, and there it is, the stand one stopping his offense. The stand one is so good against anything. Cetron just throws it out there.
Still only one hit away, and he dashed into it. That was nothing but buttons, nothing but aggression from H-Dope, and that is what I hate to say, what Cetrion is allowed to do when you can't stop that tornado. She resets neutral, and then she puts active frames there. The last read I feel like that you want to make there. You know, there are two reads. Cetrion can read that you're gonna get aggressive, put out active frames, and those active frames are gonna get there 8 times out of 10, maybe 5 times out of 10 before you do, and that's why you see him dash up into a stand 1, dash up into even throw there. That was even a bigger risk. Or Cetron can backdash, reset neutral, and still put active frames there for you to dash up into if you feel like getting aggressive. So dashing forward like that was telling me how much pressure he was feeling, but in that particular matchup, I don't think it was one of the smartest decisions. He was trying to go for the throat, he was trying to get him in the jugular with the immediate pressure, but the matchup, I don't think was allowing that at the time.
No, definitely not. And I feel like Magic T just got too aggressive there, and I feel like it was because H-Dope was so composed that Magic T was like, all right, I forfeited Soul, like, you should be scared, you should be running. And he was kind of expecting Cetrion to like try to back off, but H-Dope said no. Like, I know I'm one hit away, but I'm cool. I'm chilling. Down to crushing blow. Big damage, able to come out of there because of the breakaway, and now is going to have no resources here for quite some time. No wake-up attacks, no rolls, as Cetrion just kind of goes in there with her offense. H-Dope looking incredible here, as Magic T is just getting pushed over and over up against the ropes. Magic T fighting his way out, able to convert, never mind, drops it there because of a weird airborne wonky situation. You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Ooh, that was a beautiful read there. Another one, and just kind of a natural read. Cetron, when she gets her back to the wall, definitely looking for a teleport. He scouted that perfectly. He's loading up a lot of those shadows with the crushing blow. Only one more shadow could do it. That could have been risky for H-Dope there. One straight shadow trade is gonna be it.
This is mercy.
One more projectile for either. Oh, it's the Hell's Wrath that closes it out. H-Dope
So intense. Such an intense moment there at the end. I mean, you could cut the tension with a knife. These guys just didn't want to give up anything. And I don't know how H-Dope did that forward dash throw. Like, in that situation, in that scenario, like, everyone's so willing to press a button, but he just had the perfect read on his opponent. Magic T whipping that. Here comes the micro dump. Aww. And then the armor break at the end. Add insult to injury. This is insane.
Oh, that was like 4 resets in a row. Oh.
It hurts so bad. Looking to fulfill that requirement there with the, getting those clones to hit. Oh, trying to get tricky there. Just kind of keeping Cetrion in check here with these slides, these clone slides. The 2 hit is lows, so they're very, very annoying to deal with.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely a lot of damage. Little poke.
That was
nothing
okay.
wrong with that.
That Armor, this is gonna be a big read. That only worked, and I could be wrong. That down 1 only worked because Cetrion didn't have the space to backdash out of it. She backdashed into the wall and couldn't go back any farther, and then so the forward 2 was actually in down 1 range. But usually that stagger in the backdash, what he just did right there is to force a blow up of a counter poke. Ooh, he got lucky.
Okay, so if he wasn't in the corner, it would have whiffed. He would have recovered in time to swing her own buttons, which are really, really good. Like, you guys can't downplay this anymore. Like, her buttons are so good.
It's just a fact. Look at the frame data, and it's a fact. She's got the active frames. She's got the startup. She's got the cap.
Wake up!
But one thing that Magic T has more than anyone here tonight is damage. It is. She's gonna be able to survive this.
It's close. I mean, hers scales a lot. I think he's alive. He's alive. He's alive. He's alive! He's at less than 1%. Half
I don't even know if he can teleport there, because doesn't he go through the ground to teleport, or does he go up? I can't remember.
No, he goes through the ground, but I don't know if he's actually able to get hit out of, like, the animation, or if he just becomes, like, a ghost right away. Like, like Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. Either way, it kind of becomes a read, because once you as Cetrion, all right, look at this match through the eyes of Cetrion and see Noob Saibot jump. What's immediately going to go into your head is he can teleport, or he can bait me into thinking that he's going to teleport, empty jump, and then he will be close enough to try to swing with something to kill me. And so he, I think, counter, it all comes down to that quick decision making in those moments where he goes, okay, I'm going to call him out on that bluff or that potential bluff that may not even exist, but you have to make this read, and I'm going to ground pound. And it was read perfectly. He landed right into it. It was chip. GG's, have a nice day.
Yeah, definitely all she wrote at that point. I mean, it's definitely a risky maneuver, but you know what? The payoff and the what you can do to a player's mentality is well worth it. You know, you can't just sit there. Blocking will get you nowhere. All right, we've all read the loading screen. Blocking will get you nowhere. You gotta go in. You gotta do something.
Listen, guys, if you're blocking, then you're losing. Yeah, exactly. The moment that you let your opponent breathe, you'll have lost. That needs to be your mentality. That's how I play, but it also gets me burned a lot, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh no. When you play against like someone who knows how to deal with that, they're like, "Oh, you're one of those players." Okay. No problem.
Like, okay. Okay. So he just doesn't block.
he's just gonna keep swinging after everything. After he's plus, after he's minus, he's just gonna keep swinging. Okay. But all right, these guys are going at it. Magic T not switching back to spawn, which is what I was hoping for, just because I'm a little bit biased and I really love that different spawn play. But he's the competitor here. He's the one with points on the line, so he's the one trying to get this W, not me. And with good reason, that noob Cybot, that game number 2 was pretty close. So he can definitely do this. It all comes down to just a few adjustments. Forward throw coming out of H-Dope, Magic T. Not really guessing right on these throw attempts. Big jump in kick, getting that option select with the slide. Good stuff here. Also going to be fulfilling that requirement for that straight tackle crushing blow. Oh my, I don't know how that connected. It was so far away.
Noob Cybot calling in the assist armor. That's what happened.
Is that fair?
This is a 2v1, but this is an Elder Goddess we're talking about.
That's true, that's true. She's pretty overpowered. She's pretty good. Lore-wise, I'm not saying she's broken. Please don't get upset.
She's pretty good. There's her endless on the situation. Walks up. Trying to jump etc. on there. Going into active frames, that's what it feels like moving forward against her. There's a fear of there always being something active when you move forward, and so anything that moves you forward, any risk to press a button, it can make you second guess it, and it gives Cetron a little bit more breathing room. Luckily, he was able to survive right there and get aggressive enough to land a couple of hits. For Magic T, you guys can already see the playstyle and the archetype that kind of he is, which is big damage. He likes to have a lot of big damage and use the threat of that damage to get his opponent, open up his opponent, and get to that damage. He's also a Baraka main. Magic T actually, I think, primarily plays Baraka, but you're never going to see that in this matchup. That's why you see someone like Noob Cybot here, who has a counter zoning tool that leads to a lot of damage. That is exactly the Magic T way. And let's see if he can close this out, because all of what I just said is starting to click here.
Yeah, I definitely see it here. The gears are spinning here as Noob Cybot getting some good damage, trying to go for a throw, but maybe a little too obvious here. H-Dope one step ahead of him, cashing in big time here in the corner, making sure that damage packs on as much as possible. Good challenge, and that's what I'm talking about there. That boulder from Cetron can be punished. It can be punished, but everyone's so scared of the amplification. But if you look at the risk reward, if you look at what do I get if I guess right versus what do I get if I guess wrong, you're going to take one stray little hit from Amplified Boulder versus a full combo punish like we just saw from Magic T. 1-1-3, ending it with a fatal blow, ending that game, and that was just textbook incredible punishment here. So good. So good. That is knowledge. That is matchup knowledge.
I've also never seen that conversion into in a fatal blow there by Noob Cybot, getting, what was that, the stand 3 or the stand 4 into it? That was pretty. Still able to close things out. Magic T stays alive, and it was off of what he brought to the table that Spawn didn't have. He had the big full screen anti-projectile read and the massive damage, and now K-Hope, or sorry, H-Dope. I keep saying K-Dope. I want to say K-Dope because of K-Top. I'm so sorry, guys. It's only because they're brothers.
Yeah, I think I either made or almost made that mistake earlier. I was like, I mixed their names together.
I've caught
That's just
myself
what
a couple
happens
times.
when they fuse. That's what happens when they fuse together and, you know, enter a 2v2 tournament. They change their name to K-Dope.
K-Dope?
H
Oh,
top.
for sure. For sure. We need to make that happen. H-Top, K-Dope. 2v2.
The brothers. Oh my god, we should put on an exhibition where it's like only the brothers. The connection will be
offline
terrible
server
because
come
they
back,
all live
wanna do
really
it.
far away.
I would love to see it at an offline event one day where it's just all the brothers of the world going at it. That's a jail, and that's. I just looked up and watched a murder happen as we try to break that down. Great pressure by H-Dope to lock him down with the forward 4 there. In the hit advantage, caught Magic T trying to swing and probably swing with 400 damage of his own to try to get back to the match.
Ooh, love the whiff punish there. Could have got a little bit more if it was a normal. And look at the patience here from Magic T. Look at the way he just walked back, no problem. Able to punish as best as possible, getting some good damage here on that Chiba stomp. It's unblockable, but it definitely has recovery. You guys just gotta lab, okay? Just lab it, no problem. Walking back, walking out of danger. Hold the phone here. Magic T in full control here after that last round. No way you're feeling good if you're Shiva right now.
Oh, he reacted right there! And very rarely do you see that reaction work on a normal, but because he did that sweep during the startup, had some nice juicy recovery, and now Magic T starting to crawl out of this hole that he's found himself in. And H-Dub, I was a little surprised that we saw the switch off of Cetron that was doing the work. I wonder if it's a matchup specific thing. Saw a couple people talking about how this could be bad for Noob, but I'm seeing it kind of in that back and forth mode. As long as he's been in this corner, it's looked a little rough though, and you gotta respect the Amplify. Got away with one there.
Yeah, definitely got away with one. I mean, you never know. It's a little bit of a mind game here. Sweep to close the distance, and right after the sweep, swinging for the fences, not able to convert into the damage he needs to make this happen. Magic T on life support here, gets opened up, and it's gonna be H-Dope moving on here into the losers finals. H-Dope, incredible Shiva pick here at the end. Shout outs to Magic T, you played so great, especially when you were picking Spawn. That Noob Saibot was awesome too, but
yeah.
It's gonna go to. Ooh, it's gonna go to Greece. It's gonna go to Greece for that one. That was a really good back and forth, and you know I love again the versatility from Magic T being able to, you know, play all these different characters and you know all these different styles. It's very.
Yeah, shoutouts. It's a very viewer friendly play style when you go for the damage, and you play that explosive play style versus the more reserved, always and forever safe playstyle that we see out of the upper echelon characters of the game. And that's why they are the upper echelon characters of the game, is because you look at a character like Jackie and Cetron, you look at both of them and you go, when on the timeline of round 1 fight to finish them, do they ever have to truly take a risk? Ask yourself that.
I mean,
and then look at every other character and go, well, they eventually got to take a risk. And that
sounds like you're upplaying a little bit. Hold on, that sounds like a little upplay to me, but that's okay. Sometimes, you know, we got to get it out there. Sometimes it just makes us feel better. You know, and what else makes us feel better is purchasing some official merchandise from the Pro Competition. All you guys got to do is go to Amazon.com/Mortal Kombat. You can rep your realm. There's all these different shirts, different styles. They got different colors, and they don't just have these 3 characters here. They have more. All you guys got to do is head over to Amazon.com/Mortal Kombat. They got shirts, hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops. I meant to say tank tops a second time, not t-shirts. And, you know, again, all different styles, all different colors. Check it out. There's a lot. There's a lot more than just clothing. I believe they have some action figures on there for some of you guys.
There's more than just clothing.
Yeah. You guys collect, have nice little props in the back of your stream, whatever it is. Head on over to the merch website. Check it out. Get something fun for yourself. and rep your realm. Well, most importantly, rep your realm, rep your region.
I unfortunately only have the North American one, so I apologize, guys, that I didn't have the Intercontinental one. But you know what? I'm just showing you guys some love over here from the North American side. You guys go ahead and check out that shop.
Guys, check it out, check it out. So it looks like we're going to be taking it to a break here.
Yep.
So anyone at home, don't go anywhere. We're coming right back with losers finals and grand finals for EU East. Don't go anywhere.
No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series.
Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app.
Filter by type and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play.
Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time.
A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match.
Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
PlayStation. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.
Welcome back, everyone. You are currently watching our latest installment of the EU East Mortal Kombat 11 Pro Competition here for Intercontinental Combat. My name is Ketchup, joined by Mr. Aquaman, the attack of the Ryans yet again, mate, and we're about to close out the first half of today's entertainment.
That we most certainly are. What's going on, Ketchup? Glad to have you on here once more as we close out to the eastern portion of today's program. We got grand finals and losers finals coming up next. This bracket's been exciting. It's been all over the place, character selection wise, variation, move, slot selection wise with those characters. And this losers finals, go ahead and tell me about it because there's some craziness here.
Look, we're going to answer the question today of which of the twins gets to take on Desarted. K-Top and H-Dope. I know you guys were talking earlier about like a joint name. They actually used to be the most confusing players to commentate because they used to compete in tournaments under different gamer tags still, but one of the gamer tags was K-Top H-Dope, where we used to call the account K-Tof Dope or something because we had no idea what it was. This was back in the MKX days. So they used to have an account called K-Top H-Dope, one word. And then
that they still do in the chat actually, which is
do
crazy.
they still?
Yep.
So yeah, so they have accounts that are just as confusing, but here's what's another layer of that, I think, as they go head to head. When they play each other, at least last time they played, their kind of previous mains and characters weren't used. They used completely different characters against each other. They did Liu Kang versus Kung Lao. They did Spawn versus, I think it was Fujin, where we saw the same variation that Magic T is really starting to bring forward. It's that launch and the soul forfeit. H-Dope plays Spawn with that as well. Didn't see any Jackie, didn't see any Shiva. The characters you expect. And the reason for that is because they're brothers, right? When you play someone so many times, Aquaman, you know the ins and outs. In tournament, you have the weirdest games because everything is known, right? There's nothing left to surprise because it's all been done before. So I say be prepared for one of those matches.
And that's what's got me really excited here. I actually just came off of commentating the Rumble in the Jungle South Grand Finals, which was a battle of some brothers down there. And that's exactly what it turned into. Was they met in winners finals, they met in grand finals. It was 3 different sets. There was a reset, and I think half of the cast was seen in those 2 matches alone. Half of the cast was seen, and it was incredible. And that's what not, you know, it's a combination of so many things, not just them being training partners. And brothers have a lot of familiarity with each other, but it's the fact that they're 2 top players playing each other now. And that's where it becomes mind games on top of mind games on top of mind games. And they're going to have to be breaking out, you know, the reason why you see so many characters is because they're trying to hit each other with something that they possibly haven't thrown before or haven't thrown at them in a while in hopes to catch them off guard. And that's where we see some craziness by any means necessary.
Now, is it going to be more of that today? The Spawn, and that will be, again, I love how their variations are called Love My Twin Bro, which I think specifically exist for when they fight each other. That is it. That's why we see these unusual characters. And again, are they going to do Fujin versus Spawn again?
Confidence in that too? Like the confidence in knowing that there is a high probability of this happening. That's pretty crazy right there.
So they just have a variation ready.
Yep. All these competitive brothers.
Absolutely.
These days catch up. It's insane how in almost every region now we do have a set of twins that are at the highest level of Mortal Kombat 11.
Fight.
But I think as well, one thing we haven't touched on today is that these 2 players were a year late in MK11. And they were kind of waiting on Ultimate to come out so they could almost be back on that even playing field with everyone. Because due to things completely outside of their own control, lovely punish by the way, they were not able to play any games at all for its first year, which means that when MK11 was there, they were watching it on streams and that they couldn't play, they couldn't learn. They learned by watching and that was it. So when Aftermath came out and they could finally start playing again, their schedules opened up, boom, here they are. And they used all of Aftermath to kind of get back into the swing of things, and Ultimate, they've been well on their way and have clearly been these regular top 8 contenders, and they're using all kinds of different characters. You know, I've been seeing a couple of things in chat today. You know, people having a couple of things to say about K-Top playing Jackie and stuff like that. But you watch K-Top play loads of other characters, especially against his brother, because they practice together so much. I think it is so naive to just accuse a player of only using one character and that being the reason they're successful. Watch them play other characters
100%.
against each other and other players, and here we are. You know, the proof's in the pudding, as we say in the UK.
Yeah, they have those characters for a competitive reason, but all the work that goes into using even those characters against every other character is these guys learning how to play every single other character themselves at the highest possible level, to have an understanding of it, to have an answer for it. Oh, and sometimes you wake up with down two and do a lot of epic damage because
God, you never get used to it. You never get used to it. The trade, and he gets the projectile to start things off. H-Dope doesn't need the soul forfeit that time. It's the ace in the hole in the final round. And I do like that it being used the final round, because you use that bar, God, you can't go into the next round without it. Surely not.
Yep. Yeah, and that is something that I've liked out of, you know, that variation that we've seen tonight, is that they haven't come off it early, because that has burned a lot of the spawns that I have seen use it. They try to close it out in that second round, and it comes back to haunt them if they lose it.
Now, what does K-Top do here? Is it Fujin all the way, or does he go to a different... I mean, different character is very likely, but who? Like, I have no idea who it could be. Terminator.
He just hovered over.
He used
really
Terminator, actually.
Yeah.
He used Terminator when they last played. Liu Kang this time, but I believe the matchup actually was... It was Spawn versus Fujin, and then it was Terminator, and then it was back to Fujin. I'm pretty sure is what happened. That was when they last fought in... My memory does fail. It was either an open series or a pro competition event. It was one of the PS4 tournaments for sure, but we definitely saw some unorthodox characters. Now the Liu Kang. Nice conventional variation here at command. The Dragon's Fire, the command grab, that low fireball. H-Dope in the lead though.
See if he can get into a range to establish that beautiful up-close game that this particular variation of Liu Kang brings to the table. Having that command grab, which opens up an infinite door of possibilities on offense. The zoning, going to be good to contest with here. Low projectile, as you saw with Centurion, as you see with a lot of characters that have that, can kind of bully spawn here full screen. Does have, you know, a couple tools to make some hard reads, but he's already gotten walked to the corner here because of it.
And as we begin, oh, wow, back one fireball. He's trying to make the call out on the tick grab. I can only assume when they play this matchup, it's something that he does a lot, is that back one. But now we start to open up. Bicycle kick knockdown. Oh, raw command grab. I mean, the blender begins, really. That's why he's sticking out so much mids instantly. Oh, wow, that could not have been intentional. Surely not.
There was a dropped input somewhere in there, and then there was like a negative edge or a stored input where the follow-up button. Ah, that's unfortunate. He still has a wonderful position here, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. H-Dope's entire home has been in the corner so far. Oh, looks for the punish, but he's too slow. Just a bit too slow.
And that was pure belief that it was going to be a punish, too. He wasn't even looking for a hit confirm. He's like, okay, punish. Boom, boom, boom. He's going to get one there, and a breakaway's going to come in the middle of this. Trying to catch out with 400 plus and try to get the optimal instead. He's going to pay the iron price here, but he's giving a gift.
This is such an unusual round so far, Aquaman. I don't know what to make of it. Gets the forward throw, another grab, but there's the tech from, and that's it, confirmed.
Off the tech, and he put out one of the quickest things there. 1, 2, 3, bam, bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. The fatal blow going to be enough for the kill. That entire round was a scramble from what it felt like from a button pressing perspective. Don't say that 3 times fast. It scrambled from start to end. We saw so many drops. We saw so many instances of where they were up close and in their face, and you could just feel that panic something, whether it be a 1, 2, 3, whether it be a down 2, whether it be a jump or something. There was always that kind of pressure of panic, I felt like, in that round, and it went back and forth. Could have gone either way. This Liu Kang pick looking good. And I think it came down to him just having the corner for most of that time, and I feel like Spawn could get some breathing room.
Now, once again, H-Dope probably not going to stick with Spawn for this because of just how the matchup went. If it was closer, then maybe, but wait a minute. Cetrion here. It's one of the characters, the characters you would often consider, you know, their main team, I suppose. You don't really see it much when they fight each other, which is where I'm getting a bit, I say confused. I just don't know what to make of it. Will it be Cetrion versus Liu Kang? Or are we going to see a different character entirely? Yep, Cetrion. Okay. That's now going to be K-Top having to go back to this Liu Kang. And if the Cetrion wins, then it begs the question, who's after that? Is it Fujin again? Is it going to be Jackie? Will it be Liu Kang? So many questions, Aquaman.
So many questions. I don't know if we're going to see... there's a possibility we could see a few characters, but we'll find out. And let's see if the Cetrion's going to be... Or sorry, if the Liu Kang's going to be able to even do it for him here. It looked crispy in the previous game. A little bit of a different matchup. Low projectile still going to be a really big factor here.
And we can never understate the importance of, in a matchup where you might change characters every single loss, winning that first game is so important. Because you get the final option, right? You get that final change if you want to. However, K-Top getting a good jump in there.
That was a lot of damage off that conversion. That's a tricky conversion. That was a cross-up jump kick, and you never truly know with those cross-up jump kicks if they're going to magically send your opponent like 10 feet farther than you realize, and you get nothing.
In this case, 28%, not too shabby. Ooh, I actually like using the wind as a projectile there. That's a situation where Liu Kang, he's going to want a flying kick, he's going to want to jump in or whatever. That wind's going to cover every single ounce of it. H-Dope with a life lead for now, but how long is it going to last? There's that down one to challenge. Back one, and we go in for the command grab instantly. That's the thing he was trying to enforce early. But wait,
what an
20%.
Immediate challenge. He tried to get a mind game established and has to start from scratch because of that immediate read, right? He has to go back to the drawing board on the back one mix because he was immediately called out for it. And that's what puts Dope here on top now this set. Ah, there we go.
And he's letting it rock now.
Right there, you almost want to see him do it again. If he's going to continue to read it. But those constant mind games that's going to play. Nice little projectile here. In a beautiful spot, too. That would have interrupted a lot of Cetrion buttons. Trying to wake up with some buttons. Then H-Dope, he finds himself in jail once again. It's back to the wall. Against the Earth Realms champion, Liu Kang makes a big little projectile, and the trade not going to be in his favor there. As even though she's got the fire outfit equipped, not going to save her from that burn.
Final round. Fight.
There's that counter hit. Doesn't pull the trigger on the KB though. Just lets it rock as always, and now we start to add up even more. The second bar of H-Dope gets spent, but now the push in, the button press. Again, looking to challenge and capitalize, but consistently been a bit too slow on the duck on the amp fireball, Aquaman. Not that it matters.
Yeah, multiple times here. Yeah, he's still got what he can do here. No attempt, nothing K-Top could really do right there. Kept it all unbreakable. You're in a position where Chip can kill you, and she has 14 different staggers to try to add in a couple of more hits that put you closer and closer to block on death as well. Scary situation, scary result. Cetrion was able to do it, and now we're to that place where we're like, okay, if the Liu Kang doesn't work out, what's the choice going to be here? Against Mama Cetrion,
I guarantee we're going to see a change of some sort.
Yeah. Dope put himself in, on paper, one of the best positions possible, given these two players and how well they know each other, because he's going into the last game no matter what with Cetrion. That's what he locked into. And Cetrion doesn't have, probably has the least amount of, I think, raw counter picks in MK11, or is up there with one of them.
I kind of feel like Cetrion, and you know, correct me if you think I'm wrong, right? Wow, he's doing Liu Kang again. That is a very un-K-Top thing to do.
Did he bring the reflect? Random question, but continue.
I think it's the same variation, but we'll have a look. My point is that I kind of feel like Cetrion now is the Warlock of Ultimate. Because you know Warlock in Aftermath had, without question, the most winning matchups, I think, of any character. I think that Cetrion in Ultimate has become that new kind of character that just dominates, you know? That's why she's, in my opinion, she's the best character in the game. I really think that she's number one.
she dominates because of that. It's the almost no perceivable weakness, right? It's just one heck of a strong character. Ugh. But what these matches can come down to, as any match can come down to, some really big reads. And for Liu Kang, someone that's got equally as much, or almost equally as much presence on the screen and options available in offense and on defense. And we'll see what it comes down to in this what could be final game for K-Top, who bets it all with Liu Kang.
It's which of the brothers is going to have the luxury of fighting Desarted, who's in great form so far, but this is going to be one way of earning it, a matchup they've played time and time again. I know that even Video Game Joe, you know, in our kind of mid-season recap that happened at the start of the show, Video Game Joe, one of the players that was interviewed and mentioning, lovely hit confirm, VGY said there's just something incredible that you can't perceive it, that you can't ever see it coming, that you and a family member of yours, like a brother or whoever, will share a tournament with you, a top 8 even, and you're both successful and you'll both be in a grand finals even. That's definitely something I think I can relate to, and I know that K-Top and H-Dope can. It's a feeling that it's impossible to explain. It's just a level of proudness that if one of you wins, you feel like you both win because you put through all the grind and graft together. But when you clash in tournament, it's like a bonus, you know? Ooh!
Alright, K-Top starting to make what is a needed comeback happen here. Match point. Nope on the screen. Tetron pick looking so strong. Michael Green, and if he only did a single backdash, could have caught the whip punish. Tetron's backdash, just an Apex tool at her disposal. Creates so many whip punishes off of the neutral resets of her special moves, off the neutral reset of her gapless strings. It's a winning recipe, but K-Top weathers the storm to stay alive once more. And it's a big mountain to climb, but he started this process. He's about a quarter of the way up, maybe even halfway up here. Oh, what could have been right there? You saw the activity of the standpoint of Cetrion on the screen, and another down 2. I feel like we've had multiple from Dope in the corner. The down 2's shifting momentum. It's like she's shifting to Earth with the seismic activity of her special moves.
Counter hit. Here we go.
Oh,
he's
that
using the break a bit later. That seemed confusing.
One of the things that even Liu Kang players I think tell you not to do, and I think that he tried something so like he shouldn't have done that, to try to steal a turn.
Oh!
There was something active on the screen. I don't think that we visibly saw the whiff punish. It just went into some kind of active animation that whiffed, and you saw I think only the 2 of the 1-2 connected. Something tricky there, but K-Top stays alive. Catch him.
Would you believe it? Here we are. Just that final situation, right? And you know it's going to happen with these two players. Like I said, you can always expect close games, but then at the same time, it's just what happens next. You know, do we see a character change here? Is it going to be weird? Is it going to be Cetrion Liu Kang? Probably Cetrion. Normally, I'd say expect a change every time, but I think that was so close. I don't think so. Yeah, I really do think it's going to be Cetrion here. And if not, H-Dope's going to go for this kind of almost final game secret weapon, perhaps. That is a possibility. So many different variations, I guess. Which one's it going to be, Aquaman? He's thinking about it.
Get hit by one final surprise. That's the question here. He's hovering over controls.
Johnny Cage?
Is it gonna be the Johnny pick? What a rare one here in Ultimate, which is a surprisingly... The fact that he is rare is surprising, given the character's overall strength. But goes back over to Cetrion, who he's probably thinking, or at least on paper, it's like, this is maybe the little bit safer pick. He thought about Johnny, he thought about what he can do to his brother with Johnny, what his brother might look for in that matchup, what he could probably open up with, and he's like, man, if I'm wrong here and here and here, it might not work. So many things, right? So many things. He's like, Cetrion, let's go. Game 5 time. And another one here. Europe brings him out, Ketchup. Europe brings out the Game 5s.
Especially when you have training partners. And again, this is for the chance grand finals. An important situation now. And oh, we immediately whiff that Hell's Wrath. And oh my god, the read. The read.
The first one that cleanly works for him. No breakaway for K-Top. He held every bit of that. Despite the max damage.
Oh, the whiff punish.
On the center shot and that beautiful micro deck.
The degree of like just whiff punishes and these tiny little micro calculations, they do it against everyone, but I think against each other, this is where they're really coming to their element. This is familiarity in its purest form. You can tell how much they play each other. Oh, but there's the counter hit. Bang! You can't break that.
Ooh, try to counter poke. Again, that wall still possesses.
Another grab!
Tornado wall, and the 13% is gonna be enough. Another set point for H-Dope. Trying to make it in the grand finals. Wants some more points on the season. Wants that better seeding going in the finale if he can squeeze it in there. But if these results keep up, we're gonna be seeing these guys again.
Oh, that's the whole thing, Rock. That is the secret of secret weapons for Cetrion players. You go in that final round, you let the whole thing go. And the damage is adding up piece by piece. A trade that will favor H-Dope. I know the trade did more damage for K-Top. H-Dope got such a life lead. Any damage here is great.
That was a scary short off cancel. Look at the vortex of 1-2 didn't suck him in right there. He activates the flames. Look at that 12%. Another one, no. Gotta give H-Dope a lot of credit. It has been some monumental reads on back one of
he misses it.
But it's but how many times he's been right? That's been right.
Oh,
what a scary situation.
Oh, the reaction!
And it was so close. The low fireball was right next to her foot. If he was a couple of frames, maybe even a frame apart, it could have clipped him, but H-Dope's reactions getting him the victory here today.
Yeah, I mean, don't test it, I suppose. The full screen fatal blow, it's an amazing counter zoning tool. There's a potential that maybe K-Top was expecting it to somehow power through, because H-Dope did have only a margin of life left after that. You know what I mean? So in that situation, maybe he expected the two fireballs to do enough damage to finish the job. But H-Dope, you know, props for the reactions and being able to pull the trigger on that and get it off. It's actually not the first time that's happened, actually. H-Dope has been able to do well versus K-Top. K-Top? I was going to go K-Tope. I'm getting confused now. We're getting mixed all the time.
Every time.
Constantly mixed, I'm telling you.
I said K-Dope about 3 times, so it's understandable.
Just here we are. But it sets up into our grand finals, as now it will be H-Dope going up against Desarted. Desarted win the side advantage, and H-Dope with that bracket reset needing to happen. And take a look at this bracket right as we go into it. What a journey it's been. You know, K-Top and H-Dope having that game 5 as you kind of expect, but now it's going to be Russia versus Greece. Now, before we get into our grand finals, I'd like to give one final shout out of this tournament to Astro Gaming. All of our audio is powered by Astro Gaming, especially the headsets that we're wearing right now, in fact, with the cool little Mortal Kombat panels that I fortunately got at Final Combat, which has already been a year ago. Like, how fast has this year been for us? It is madness. But you can go to astrogaming.com, find out more information on their officially licensed PlayStation products. All of it can be found on the website, and we appreciate their support tenfold. It's time for grand finals. Mr. Aquaman, Desarted, H-Dope. We'll get the show on the road as soon as they're ready.
It's a run back. We saw the Shiva from H-Dope first time around, and we'll see it. It was 3-1, and I felt like it could have and should have gone to a game 5 in that situation. And I wonder if that's exactly what we're going to see again. He's going to throw the same thing at him, or we already have just seen that H-Dope is very versatile in his character selection. Maybe we'll see something different this time around. Now that he's got the run back, now that he's been given a little bit of information, now that he's on a little bit of a tear here to the side of the bracket, he's got some momentum going. To ride that wave, baby. See if he can do it. On the winner side, it's probably the favorite coming into this, Desarted, who's been on an absolute tear through these online competitions for Europe. And there's a reason why you guys are talking about him so much, why we're seeing him in so many of these top 8s and winning so many, is because this guy is the truth. There's no other way to put it. And he's using a variation of Shang Tsung that just proves it time and time again, because it's the character's really strong, but you see the play, and it's so impressive. As someone that watches competitive Mortal Kombat, I look at the way he plays, and I'm like, dang, that's good.
I mean, when I've said it before, but when I think of a single player that has used the PS4 tournaments platform to grow, Desarted is the #1 example. Because he started off an open series as a player that might get joint 5th at best, and that will be the end of his journey for a few months. But then month after month after month, he just gets better and better and better, to the point where now he is absolutely a top player. He's one of the best players in this side of the world, without question. And if it wasn't for PS4 tournaments, he would not have been able to have that climb as fast as he's been able to do. The weekly tournaments cannot undersell how important they've been for him. But now, the grand finals, and we go into the Shiva again, where the mix begins. And he's enforcing the mix a lot more than he was in winners. And it took him a while to even start going for the Queen's Punishment low, and now he goes right off the front line with it.
Okay, beautiful crouch. You got the advantage. Off to the started there. It's a trade. Still giving Shiva a nice little reset.
But if she backdashes, the advancing forward 2 misses from Zhang, and that's how much distance can be covered. He's got to be careful. If he whiffs that and Shiva's ready, she will punish him for it. However, there's the range game.
Just like that, there's so much health disappearing just from the corpse drop alone. And
the
doesn't
delay!
go far enough to stop it. It's going to come down to the mix-up, and we're read. I don't even know what dimension did his brain enter for him to make that decision. Oh my goodness.
Know your enemy. You're going up against Desarted, a self-admitted jumper. I'm a jumper, he says. I've got a jump 3. Let's go. There's the up 2. Doesn't quite get the combo, though. Oh, he challenges it, but Aquaman, that's plus 15 on hit, that shield bash. It's so good. And it's all unbreakable. H-Stope, you filthy, filthy man.
Those instances are very rare in MK11. There is not much that exists in this game that's that advantageous on it.
The armor break! Oh, God, yes! Oh. The Queen. If anyone has any Foxy emotes, get them in chat right now. Oh, you know what I love about this the most? I love about watching H-Dope play this kind of Shiva. There is and always has been a lot more to Shiva than enhanced drag and drop. And I'm not going to downplay that move. It's definitely one of the best moves in the game. But Shiva is more than Stomp. She's a really cool character to watch. And she is great. Like, she has this 50-50 element.
Her core
but
strength was still there. Even outside the drop, outside of Shokan stance, she's got some really, really good aspects of her game. She's got good strings. She has great buttons. I mean, gapless pressure, 50-50s. Couple of game-breaking and game-changing moves. Just the unbreakable stomp itself is a bit of a game changer. That is a move that forces movement, it forces other things, and it's cool, it's unique, and it's strong. I feel like this character's strong almost no matter how you play her.
One of the best, and I think arguably the biggest winner of Ultimate. Oh, but there's that immediate whip punish Desarted. We're not going to count out the kid. You know, one of the up-and-comers, absolutely. He's trying to keep it gapless so far. We already saw that flawless block up 2 from H-Stone. Oh, whiff punish! Unbreakable, plus 15. And the good block on the overhead. And he tries to interrupt, but wait! That string has too much pushback. Oh, yeah, we're learning.
It wasn't close enough for the stand one. Things you hate to see. I wonder if it all depends on the string that she doesn't do it. For Shang in particular, as far as what he wants to try to interrupt that. Or swing move. But there's always that mind game. He's going to take away the gap with the shield, and then even if he takes away the gap with the shield, nice dashes.
Right, here we go.
But he can take away the gap.
What's happening here, Aquaman? We're starting to establish, right? We're starting to establish that last-minute stomp is not going to work now. I think the delay, I don't think Desarted was ready for the delay in the first round in game 1, but I think now, until she lands, he's dashing. He's forward dashing.
Yep.
And this is the layer that we've developed. Shield Bash being so insanely good on hit means that if you try and interrupt the Dragon Stance and then you get hit by Shield Bash,
You get it again.
You do.
That's really good patience to wait out the shake and punish it accordingly. That's
counter hit. Plus
his back dashes into the back ones have opened up a lot for him as well. Good delay from the started.
He tried to stomp on the shank. Overhead. I think that forward throw let him heal up the damage that he took, actually, from the... Yep. Another good shake. He wanted the KB so bad! He wanted the KB so bad, Aquaman.
Really good recognition, because a lot of people can have a brain fart there, and I don't want to raise my hand, but... really good for him to recognize what was going on immediately. Hello, combo! 342, and almost got the air to air.
I think I blinked and missed it. Now the backdash, again, from far away is not going to work here. The turn stealing down one. There's the interruption.
Mind games.
He's being a bit greedy with his meter. We are establishing it. Ooh, delicious flawless block.
Oh, forward receiver that gets clipped and snipes them with the forward two. The jump there sets up everything you wanted to. Shiva is another character that is similar to Spawn, is similar to Kotal Khan, and a couple other characters that rely on advancing strings on the ground that are farther than most of the cast. And when they do them, they are very susceptible to jumps. Jumps causes most, if not all, of those types of strings to whiff. If like only the first hit hits and then they're put in a punishable situation, because the recovery is so intense, and if you jump them like that, they're gonna be in a world of recovery on the other side. And so that's always something to be mindful of when you're throwing out the bigger or recovering strings like that, for sure. Even though it's gotten him a lot, it's always something to be worried about with that kind of archetype of a character. You know, Collector kind of the same way, 4-3, all those big moving things are susceptible to that jump read at the start. It takes game number 2.
No, if we're talking about things that need to change or adaptations, the big game changer there was the use of Shake being so useful. Because when you have the Dragon Stance from range, obviously there's going to be a much bigger gap in between some of the projectiles that you have time to get the Shake out. Close range, you're not going to be able to do it, but from far away, you definitely will be able to. I think the same can be said for like Scorpion Teleport and stuff like that in certain situations. But it's all read focused. It's why H-Dope sometimes will cancel it preemptively. He'll throw a projectile up in the air because it's just all how you adapt. And you're trying to anti-air Shang Tsung's jump 3. Big mistake. That's exactly what Desarted wants. Oh, he interrupts and they trade. That's good because it means he's not going to eat a full combo for it. Forward dash again, there's the whip. This is the thing. The forward dash will beat the stomp, the back dash will not. Desarted learned that at the end of the last time they played. Oh, he went for the forbidden string.
He went for active frames, baby. He wanted to put it all out there. Although that string naturally pushes back really far as well. A lot of hits to it. And it's
a lot of people don't know about that in the final hit either.
It's one of the coolest looking strings I've ever seen.
Oh, we get the range. Reptile.
Let it never be said that you haven't seen that tournament.
Oh, when it's Desarted, you always see it. He's actually really good at landing it. He's got a great awareness for when to do it.
Oh, huge. Hates him to start his favorite. Oh, but that was after half his life.
Yeah, the stomp is not going to work. I'm telling you, the second we go in for the forward dash and you don't have enhanced drag and drop, the stomp is pretty much eliminated. Now, here's the mix-up. The low enforced and the debuff. What's it going to be? Tries to chase down the roll. H-Dope, and this is changing the game.
Yeah, I think that there's been a really big adjustment made from Desarted. H-Dope's going to have to do something pretty drastic here.
We might even see a character change, because the one problem with H-Dope is that when his back's against the corner, he tends to get a little bit predictable. And that's coming forward here, where he's low on life, he does stomp. He will always stomp because he wants to try and create a situation. The problem is, Desarted is, now he knows the forward dash will beat stomp because it goes so far and it's so fast. he has no reason to fear it. So he'll get you weak, wait for the stomp, and then he'll just forward dash, and he's always ready for the standing 3 punish. No man wants to keep things optimal. Big damage. But it's too predictable now.
Okay, he's going to make a switch to Cetron. I was going to mention that another matchup-specific thing why you might not see a lot of stomps full screen or at all is that corpse drop on a right read will just shut it down on startup. She actually has to get all the way up to
Earlier
the sky.
today.
Yeah, before that to even become a factor. And so we're going to see the Cetrion pick that saved him against his brother. We'll see if he can do the same here in Grand Finals. He's trying to bring home the championship himself.
Now, Desarted, he does play this matchup in the most interesting way. Playing against Acid and Massa many times in the Open Series, a matchup he is going to be more than familiar with. And he does play this, I will say, unique Shang. You do not see a lot of Shang Tsung players be as morph heavy as Desarted. And you'll notice he never takes Shapeshifters training, and the reason for that is because he wants to keep Corpse Drop. Now there's that whip punish. Bang! We take that guaranteed crushing blow, and we keep the loss.
Yeah, which it's just so smart because you don't really need all of them.
No. There's almost no matchup where every morph is necessary, but there's always a matchup where the Corpse Drop is in the
Whoa! He just flawless blocked the second pound and up 3. Full screen.
Oh!
Is he just showing up?
I tell you, he's sick. He's sick. He's played this matchup so many times. Don't get hit by Ermac lift, because that will be a fatal blow with your name on it. If he even needs to, actually. Less than 23%. If he opens you up, now you're dead.
Oh.
No! He's going to get it. Yep. Tournament point now for Desarted. That fatal blow. Ooh. You know I said when his back is against the wall, his defense does tend to crumble a little bit.
That's exactly what happened there. Okay. Oh, okay. Started, we get it. Crisp execution. Oh, no.
However, he's getting opened up by now.
This lack of blocking might not be the strategy here. Oh, no. That was just one of those slides that you were talking about. That's more of like a gut feeling of when to do it. Completely refixed.
Some rather important combo drops are coming out though. Aquaman Desarted. He left a lot of damage on the table by not converting in the corner the way he normally does. That's like 30% at least every touch. There's the interruption. Ermac coming out. Bang. Fatal blow is ready. And he wants the KB counter poke. Man channels the inner on Kratos and all of us.
Oh, this is going to be scary. If he puts out Corpse Drop, it might kill him in the Armor of Fatal Blow. This is going to be kind of weird. Oh, he closed the gap instead.
Brutality.
We are many.
I cannot believe it. He had 2 bars of defensive meter. It was like the last timing you would think that you would read, unless you're reading that they're going to wake up buttons. That was the only read there for that to work. Was wake up something. And he was just
My guy meated with the Ermac lift from max range. That was it's such a Desarted way to win a tournament, actually, with the Ermac lift. Because he is, like, it sounds weird to say, but he is the best user of Ermac lift in this game, I think. His sixth sense for when is the right time is ridiculous. I have no idea how he does it, to be honest. He just knows. He knows when it's the right time, and that was a clear-cut example. And props to H-Dope, though. I think a top 3 finish for both of the twins, I think, is going to be something that they're going to be proud of. They'll be motivated. They don't seem to take losses too bad, I think. They'll come back stronger. And a top 3 finish in pro competition is never a bad thing. But the man of the hour, Desarted, the rising star, I tell you, the rising star of not just CIS, but this entire part of the world, all of EU and CIS together, I think. Desarted is a real...
MK11 competitively. In general, you know, if you look at an offline competition comeback that in any way has all the best players from around the world, you're looking at him like, all right, let's see what he does against everyone, because it looks like he can do just fine given these events. With unique play style, top tier execution, flawless blocks, reads, he's got it all. And the brothers Greek getting 2nd and 3rd, so congratulations to them and everyone here on the eastern side, as we got West coming up here in a big catch-up that's got me excited too.
We do. I mean, this is only half of today's entertainment. We'll be jumping over now and doing EU West after a bit of a break. And it's just another bracket chock full of top tier talent and players, and I'm excited to see it. But before we close out the show, let's have a little bit of a reminder for what we're here for, what presented by PS4 even means in the first place. PS4 tournaments, which has been the ongoing open series and the pro competition. All of it can be found at compete.playstation.com. The open series is weekly online tournaments that you can enter, where it's weekly prize money as well, with the monthly finals. That's 5 tournaments a month for open series alone per region. And then we have the pro competition, the online world championships currently taking place, of which you've just watched another qualifier for. So again, right there, compete.playstation.com. It is a one-stop shop for all things MK11 related. But as we just said before cutting to that, we are going to go for a break, set up EU West. Thank you so much for joining us so far. This was merely half of today's action, and we'll be back for the second half in however long this break is. See you in a bit.
No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation.
Hey guys, Ketchup and Mustard here, and it's time to test your might in the Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series.
Ready to rumble? Power on your PlayStation and head to the Events app.
Filter by type and select a convenient date and time. Boot up MK11 and locate the PS4 Tournaments menu option. Click it to visit a familiar place, the Console Events tab. Sign up and prepare to play.
Once registered, you can view your tournament details and check-in time.
A notification will remind you to tighten your black belt and get over here for your match.
Continue combat in the open qualifiers to close in on the competition.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the tournaments.
PlayStation. Who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
Any ring I step into is mine. End of the line.
Then this fight is now personal.
It is exhausting being so perfect.